What's up everyone, how are you all? Today we are back with another blazing Naruto story. What if Rinnegan Naruto shows his true self during the Chunin exams? If you enjoy, then please like, share and do comments. And also check the description to original creator of this beautiful creation. In the Leaf Academy, many young genin to be sit waiting for their teachers. The door slides open, revealing two Chunin. The first has a scar across his nose with brownish black hair, wearing a Chunin vest with black shirt and pants. The other wears the same uniform and has blue hair. Morning everyone, and let me tell you, I am proud to have been your teacher for these past 8 years. Mizuki walks around and hands out a paper test. But when he reaches a boy with blue eyes with whisker-like birthmarks, 3 on each cheek with yellow spiky hair. Wearing a neon jumpsuit, he glares and hands him a test that a Chunin, let alone an academy student, couldn't answer. The boy looks over the test and gives of an evil grin. Once they begin, the boy just sits back. This boy is Naruto Uzumaki, the vessel of the Kyuubi no Kitsune. Hated and cursed by everyone. By the third's law, he was never to find out about the fox, but he did on his 5th birthday when he met her. And he promised to bring Konoha's destruction for what they did to him. Hiding his true skills behind a mask, pretending to be an idiot, but he is truly a genius. Always in a form between shapeshift, henge and genjutsu. In an artificial body with his true one hidden away, only to be unleashed at will. With the strongest bloodline in the world, the Kami Ryujin, divine dragon eyes. With more jutsus than the third, the professor, as he is called. Strongest and deadlier genjutsus than Kurenai Yuhi genjutsu mistress. Stronger and better taijutsu stances that made a guy taijutsu expert of Konoha doesn't even know. Kenjutsu stances that cannot be seen. A master of sealing 10 times better than the 4th, with hundreds of forbidden jutsus and demonic jutsus at his disposal. And the strongest and oldest swords in history: Onwa Kaminari, Gentle Thunder, Shinsetsu Ano, Tender Flame, Kodai Suchi, Ancient Earth, Kei's Hana, Wind Flower, and Yanaka Izumi, Midnight Water. And being a half-demon, half-human and half-fox demon, almost full at that. After the written exam, they begin the final exam. Having to do a substation, henge, and form 3 bunshin, clones. Iruka goes down the list until Sasuke Uchiha, called Iruka. A 13-year-old with black hair and black eyes, wearing a black t-shirt with a red fan on the back with gray pants, walks over. Now transform into either me or Mizuki, preform a substitution and perform 3 bunshins or more. Henge, muttered Sasuke, turning into Iruka before transforming back and substituting himself with a long before summoning 6 illusions. Well done, you pass, Sasuke grunts before grabbing a Hite 8 and wraps it around his head and walks back to his seat. Naruto Uzumaki, called Iruka. Naruto walks down with an emotionless face. Once he reaches the area, he performs a henge and turns into Mizuki before substituting with Iruka. Excellent, Naruto now perform 3 clones. Naruto grins evilly and starts laughing before crossing his hands and summons chakra. His chakra becomes visible, but it's not blue, it's black. Kage Bunshin no Jutsu, muttered Naruto before summoning a single clone. Everyone laughs while the clone walks over to a desk and sits down. Everyone stares wide-eyed. A shadow clone in a rank Junin and forbidden technique, muttered Mizuki. Naruto, congratulations UP, said Iruka, only to be interrupted by a deep dark demonic chuckle. He looks at Naruto as the boy releases an evil chuckle before releasing a full-blown laugh. Everyone stares at him like he's crazy. You shouldn't even be shinobi, shouted the blonde with blood-red eyes with black cat-like slits. Black chakra forms around him as he laughs, unable to see underneath the underneath. I am ashamed of all of you, but especially you, Iruka-sensei and Mizuki-sensei, said Naruto as his voice turns demonic. Suddenly black flames surround the blonde boy. Killer intent hits the air, crushing many. Flames shoot out everywhere, burning everything it touches. A giant black fire dragon appears from Naruto's spot and roars before exploding. And there sits a crater with a tall 15-year-old looking teen. His hair is 2 meters long and blood red with red fox ears sticking out. Dark thick whisker marks 3 on each cheek and his eyes are closed. Swinging behind him are 9 red fox tails slicing the air. He has clawed hands with his jaw locked back a bit, revealing long fangs. He wears a black opened vest-like t-shirt. revealing scars across his body with medical tape around his abs showing a six-pack. On his arms are tattoos. On his left is Ichibi the one-tailed yellow-brown raccoon, Nibi the two-tailed black cat, Sanbi the three-tailed blue dragon turtle and Yanbi the orange rooster with four snake tails. On his right Gobi the five-tailed white dog, wolf, Rokubi the yellow-orange six-tailed weasel, Shichibi the seven-tailed gray-brown badger and Hachibi the eight-headed and eight-tailed purple-black-gray snake. On his chest is the Kyuubi no Yoko the nine-tailed blood-red fox seals around each demon on his arms. He wears a black cloak with in big red words it says, Shinigami, and Kyuubi no Yuko. The words are surrounded by purple flames for the bottom design of the cloak flame-like designs in blood. He wears black Anbu-style pants with 3 kunai, shuriken, senbon needle holsters on each leg. He wears a belt with 15 scrolls attached with 4 item pouches at the back. The teen has 5 katana on him. The first is on his back in a black sheath same as the others. The blade is yellow with black and red lightning bolts across. By his left waist is a red blade with black and purple flame design. The next is a green blade with black tornado around the blade with cherry blossoms inside the tornado. The fourth is a blue blade with a white ocean design. And the last blade is brown with an ancient ruins design on the blade. The teen opens his eyes revealing blood-red ones with black cat-like slits with 10 purple diamonds surrounding each slit. The diamonds disappear before the teen starts laughing maniacally. "WW who aa or YYU?" asked, stuttered Iruka. The teen stares. "Iruka-sensei, I am hurt that you don't recognize you own student and vessel of the Kyuubi. N Naruto. Ha, release the henge idiot," shouted a pink-haired banshee by the name of Sakura Haruno. "Yes, Dobi, get rid of the genjutsu," said Sasuke before shouting Kai summoning all his chakra. But nothing happens. So many other students try doing the same but nothing still. Naruto bursts out with a dark demonic laugh. "Humans are such idiots. The Uzumaki Naruto you once knew never existed. It was a mask, a fake persona. I am Kyuubi Naruto Death's Hands. I go by the code name Shinigami the mass serial killer," shouted Naruto releasing a dark chuckle, "and all of you are to be my new victims." Naruto unsheathes the yellow blade on his back and grins an evil grin. Naruto appears in front of a brown-haired male student and stabs him through the heart, killing him instantly. This shocks many and they start to scream. Everyone heads towards the door but vines shoot out and stop them, followed by sheets of ice appearing over every window. Naruto grins as Mizuki shouts demon and jumps at him with a kunai, only to have a foxtail go straight through him and rip out his heart and crush it. Naruto laughs and slices another student in half. Naruto rips out another's throat, all the while laughing evilly. Kyuubi cheers inside her cage, wanted more blood. Naruto crushes another's skull and cuts off the next head. "If I defeat him I shall be able to defeat and kill my brother," thought Sasuke. Sasuke races through some hand signs gathering chakra and breaths in. Kaden. Gukakyu no Jutsu, fire release. Grand fireball technique, shouted Sasuke before breathing out a stream of flames that turn into a fireball. The fireball hits Naruto but does nothing. Naruto looks at his shoulder and grabs a fireball before literally putting it in his mouth and eats it. Sasuke stares wide-eyed before Naruto appears in front of him. "The last Uchiha, my ass. Itachi was the one and only Uchiha ever besides Obito. You Uchiha are nothing but weak fools," stated Naruto before plunging his katana through his chest, all the while cackling like a madman. A girl with short lavender hair with white eyes and now pupils wearing a baggy gray jacket with gray pants stares wide-eyed. "Naruto-kun, this isn't you," shouted the girl. Naruto turns to her grinning evilly. "Hinata, beautiful thing you are, but the Naruto-kun you once knew never existed," I said. Naruto plunges his left claw through Sasuke's throat, killing him. Naruto throws the body away and licks the blood of his blade and spits it out in disgust. As always, Uchiha blood tastes awful. Sakura charges at him screaming something about revenge with a kunai in each hand. Naruto grabs her by the throat and smirks. He places a hand on her left. She shouts pervert and about not being allowed to rape her, but he scowls. "I'd never rape someone with a flat chest and someone as ugly as you. I'd rather rape Hinata or Ino," admitted Naruto. "Say goodbye, Sakura." Naruto then channels lightning nature chakra through his hand. He sends an electric current to her heart and gives her a heart attack. Sakura gasps for air before she grabs her heart. Naruto drops her as she falls dead on the floor. Iruka stares in complete shock. Only 6 people showed me compassion in my life at this academy. Shikimaru, Hinata, Choji, Shino, Kiba and Iruka, so I shall spar you along with Ino. After all, I hold no grudge against you. But the rest of you bullied, hated and laughed at me. So you shall all die. Naruto grins before slicing a girl in half. Naruto grins as shadow clones appear behind the 7 he mentioned he wouldn't kill and they knock them out. Naruto then kills of all the males, leaving 15 young ladies left. Well, before I kill you I might as well make you into woman, said Naruto, creating clones that each takes a girl and take away their virginity before slicing their throats. Naruto leaves the academy but not before summoning shadow clones to kill off everyone instructor that hurt him or didn't help him, or threw him out of class. Naruto smirks as he is surrounded by Anbu. Naruto Uzumaki, you are under arrest for the murder of 30 students, Sasuke Uchiha and over 20 Chunin instructors, said an Anbu wearing a bear mask. An Anbu in a cat, lizard and eagle mask grab him. You are to be taken to the council to decide your fate. The 4 Anbu go up in smoke, taking Naruto with them. The 5 appear in the council room. On the council are the clan heads of each clan besides the Uchiha, along with the 3rd and his teammates, Danzo and 15 civilians. Naruto grins as he takes a seat. Demon, I am sure you know why you're here, shouted a civilian council member, only to drop dead thanks to a kunai in the head. He broke the 3rd's law, so I'm allowed to kill him. Naruto Uzumaki, vessel of the Kyuubi no Yuko, you are charged off murder for the death of 30 students, Sasuke Uchiha and 25 Chunin, along with the now added extra 59 civilian members that have died thanks to you as the Shinigami in 8 years, as well as the 20 other Chunin and 5 Junin. How do you plead? Said Danzo. I plead not guilty to the ones that happened 8 years ago from yesterday, because after all I only defended myself. And besides, they all deserved to die. Demon, you killed my daughter, so I'll kill you, shouted Haruno Umehiko, Sakura's mother. She charges with a kunai in hand, only to have a clawed hand through her throat. Naruto sighs as the shadow clone that killed the woman goes up in smoke. 60 civilian deaths, muttered Sarutobi, not impressed. Now council, I'll take my leave. Just be lucky I didn't kill the heirs of the Nara, Yamanaka, Hyuga, Akamichi and Inuzuka clans, said Naruto as he stares with cold dark eyes. Demon, you are to be executed today, shouted a civilian attacking with a katana, only to burst into flames. The council has no say in my execution or banishment, only the Hokage does. Now if you don't mind, I am leaving this village, but not before killing those who despise me, as in my father's letter to me. Naruto then tosses a scroll to Hiyashi, who reads over it. Dear my son Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, if you are reading this, then I am dead. I am sorry to having to seal Kyuubi inside of you, my boy, but I had to save the village. I just hope they treat you like a hero as my test to them. If they did not treat you as such, I give you permission to destroy them. If you're reading this and happen to be Hokage, you must be shocked. But I am glad if you are. And now matter what you do to the village, if you are loyal or try to destroy it, I am proud. Love you, Father Minato Namikaze, read Hiyashi to the council. The council gasps as Naruto grins evilly before he appears in front of the Hokage's teammates. Time for me to serve justice, shouted Naruto as he cuts both in half before the civilian members go up in flames, followed by Danzo. Naruto grins before making the Anbu in the eagle and lizard masks go up in black flames. Naruto smirks before he goes up in flames. Naruto appears in the middle of Konoha. Everyone stares with disgust and glares. Those brave or idiotic enough attack him with sharp weapons. Naruto sighs and draws the yellow blade known as Onwa Kaminari, gentle thunder. Even with its given name, the blade itself, it never gentle at all. The blade sparks with a crimson lightning before he appears in front of a civilian and slices his head off. Naruto summons an army of shadow clones who start killing everyone, civilian and shinobi, that was cruel to him. Shopkeepers scream in pain, shinobi yell for mercy. An Anbu wearing a dog mask appears with lightning coming off his hand and up his arms. Naruto, stop this at once before I am forced to kill you, said Dog. Ah, Kakashi Hitaki, the so-called son of the fourth, my idiotic father, move or I shall move you myself. No, this stops now. Lightning blade. Kakashi charges forward and thrusts his hand forward, begging for forgiveness to his sensei. Just as the arm is about, he hit, Naruto grabs Kakashi and throws him over his shoulder and into a building. Naruto heads towards the south gate with an evil grin. As Naruto walks off, a man with a bowl haircut and big bushy eyebrows wearing a green spandex suit with his headband for a belt appears. Next to him is a mini-me and both have orange leg warmers. Next to them is a girl with a pink buttoned shirt that hugs her figure, showing off her curves, with black pants with brown hair in buns with scrolls on a belt with kunai and shuriken holsters on her legs with a B-cup. And the other is a boy with long black hair with pale white eyes wearing a white jacket and gray pants. He has a kunai holsters on his right leg, each about 14 years of age. Halt, your unyouthfulness shall be stopped here, shouted the older man. It is a guy sensei's youthful form, shouted the mini version of the man. Maida Guy Sensei of Team 9, also known as Team Guy, consisting of Rock Lee, the dead last of his year, only able to use taijutsu, weapon mistress Tenten, and genius prodigy of the Hyuga clan Neji Hyuga, said Naruto, appearing in front of Tenten and slams a fist into her gut, knocking her out, and throws her on his shoulder. Naruto then starts running. Guy and Lee run after him with Neji behind them. The two spandex ninja running with one on each side of him and Neji behind him Naruto's size. Naruto increases his speed to half of his normal and races towards the gate. Naruto roundhouse kicks a Chunin who tries to stop him and uses him as a platform to leap over the gate. Naruto lands on the ground using chakra to soften the blow, causing a giant crater. Naruto then runs at full speed so that you only see a red and black hardly seeable flash. Naruto crosses the border between fire and water country and heads to wave with Tenten over his shoulder. Naruto makes camp about 3 hours run away from the border, which is about a 2 days walk. Naruto places Tenten next to a tree and starts doing hand signs. Metal release. Binding chains. Suddenly metal chains made out of titanium shoot out of the ground and wrap around Tenten's hands before tying them behind her back. More chains shoot out and tie her upper body and arms included to the tree before more wrap around her legs. Naruto then channels chakra into the chains and they start draining the weapon mistress's chakra resources, only leaving her with enough to live before removing her weapons and scrolls and her hidden ones. Naruto sighs and starts making some beef soup. Naruto grabs a scroll and draws blood before wiping it across some kanji, making a tent appear, 2 sleeping bags, 2 blankets and cooking supplies along with food. After an hour, Tenten starts to stir, her eyes swing open and she looks around the camp. She then notices the chains and tries to move. She then tries to summon chakra but feels pain in her body, so stops. She then notices Naruto and glares at him. Naruto looks at with her cold dark eyes. What did you do to me? You better not have raped me, shouted Tenten. Woman, I am not that low to rape someone who has done no wrong to me and is unable to defend themselves. Yeah, like you can talk, after all you did rape most of the female students in your class and they were defenseless. Correct, my shadow clones did, replied Naruto in a monotone voice. The red-haired teen walks over with a bowl of soup and places a spoon near her mouth. Eat up. How do I know it's not poisonous? It's not. I need you as a bargaining chip for Konoha. You have abandoned the village, so you're a missing nin now. No, the village abandoned me, not the other way around, stated Naruto as he releases Tenten's arms and hands before summoning chains to wrap around her waist and wrap themselves around the tree. There, now eat, we have a long journey ahead tonight, said Naruto before he uses a jutsu to move the tree and Tenten in closer to the fire. The voices inside my head have told me to do what I must do to survive, said Naruto. So you hear voices? Great, said Tenten sarcastically, you're insane. The voices I hear, the kyubis and my blades each wanting blood. Naruto cackles like a madman before stopping and placing a hand on the hilt of the green blade with the tornado and cherry blossom design. He unsheathes Kei's hana and blocks a shuriken as a man with spiky black hair with brown eyes wearing the Chunin attire of Iwa appears with an Iwa headband but a slash through it. He has a giant axe on his back and grins. Well, what do we have here? A couple of broads. Boy, hand of the girl and I won't kill you, said the missing nin. No, replied Naruto in a cold dark voice with emotionless eyes. Kid, if you know what's good for you, you will leave her here with me for some fun, said the missing nin with a giant smirk. After all, I am Tadashi Takara, an A-class missing ninja from Iwa. I don't give a shit, besides you're already dead. Ha, yeah right, you little shit, replied Tadashi, not knowing they'd be his last words. Suddenly hundreds of deep gashes appear all over his body. He then hears the sound of Naruto sheathing his blade. When did he cut me? Asked Tadashi as he slumps over dead on the ground. Naruto sighs and cuts of his head before sealing it away, then he burns the body. It's best get some sleep, we leave at dawn, and do not worry, once I reach Wave Country you're free to go, said Naruto as he unchains Tenten's legs before summoning chains to wrap her hands in front of her. A chain wraps around her left leg and wraps around a tree, leaving enough length for her to go about 50 meters before the chain stops her. Naruto summons a second tent for her to use. Naruto slips into his with a sleeping bag and blanket. Tenten sighs and does the same. The next day, Naruto awakes and changes into the same cloths as yesterday but with a fishnet shirt underneath. Naruto walks out of his tent followed by Tenten, who walks out of hers. Naruto sighs before summoning a basket of apples. Eat, we leave after breakfast. Naruto seals away his cooking supplies along with tents, blankets and sleeping bags. Tenten sits down and grabs an apple. Naruto uses one of his tails to grab an apple to eat himself. Naruto, why did you leave the village? Asked Tenten. Naruto stares at her and sits down. What do you know about the Kyuubi? That the fourth killed him, but what's this got to do with you? Because it does, and the Kyuubi wasn't killed. No one can kill a demon. Instead she was sealed using the dead consuming seal by summoning the Shinigami to take the souls of the caster and the one it's used on. The only way to seal a demon is inside the form of a newborn baby. Yondaime asked for this boy to be seen as a hero, but he wasn't. He was thrown out of stores, spit on and beaten. On his birthdays, which happened to be the day of the Kyuubi festival, he was beaten 10 times worse than normal and most the time killed. The third put up a law saying that the younger generation were never to know. The boy started to hate his home. Then he met Kyuubi at the age of 5 and she started training him at 6. They fused. He put up a mask to protect himself. The only ones that never hated were a select few, said Naruto. How do you know this? Because that boy was me, replied Naruto with cold eyes. I despise Konoha and my so-called father, the fourth Hokage Minato Namikaze. They needed a scapegoat, so they chose me, the bastards did. Now let's leave, I intend to reach Wave today. Naruto unchains her legs, by then chains her arms behind her back and wraps the end of it around his right wrist. Let's go, Tenten nods and she follows him. Naruto sighs as he walks to Wave. The two walk in silence for an hour till Naruto stops. What's wrong? We're being followed by 80 shinobi and B-ranked Leaf 2, said Naruto as he chains Tenten to a tree and walks to the middle of the area. He unsheathes Shinsetsu Ano, Tender Flame. Suddenly 80 Anbu members appear with Nei on their uniforms. Root, muttered Naruto. Demon, you are to be killed for murdering Danzo-sama. You forget I have a hostage. We could careless, after all we were ordered to kill both of you under orders of the civilians. Bastard, said Naruto as he appears behind the leader, who bursts into flames. They smirk and draw their blades. Naruto sighs as he unsheathes Kei's Hana, Windflower, before pulling out an MP3 player and selecting a song, Bodies by Drowning Pool. Naruto sighs as he arrives near Wave, as in front of him stands a giant bridge. Instead of the usually clothing, he wears a black t-shirt with an opened half-black half-orange jacket, the top half-black and the bottom orange. He wears orange cargo pants with the Uzumaki swirl in red on the sides. On the back of the jacket is the same but with a red Kyuubi in the black part and the Uzumaki symbols on the orange part. He has a chain wrapped around his left arm. Around his right leg below the knee is medical tape wrapped around the pant leg, and for the finisher he is surrounded by blood-red chakra. Naruto looks at Tenten and sighs as she stares in awe. Naruto grabs her and throws her over his shoulder. Naruto then jumps onto the bridge using chakra to land. The teen then puts Tenten go, who goes to slap him but he grabs her hand. Nay, I wouldn't do that, after all I could easily chain you up and throw you into the water to drown, said Naruto in a monotone voice. Tenten sighs before the two walk off. Right before they arrive in a village, Naruto stops. Tenten, as I said, you may leave once we reach Wave, but it'd be best to rest before you leave. Once I leave Wave you're free to go. But you may leave while I am in Wave if you wish. But it is best to stay with me, after all Root are after to kill me and you. Besides, you have no means of getting past the bridge, said the redhead teen. Fine, I'll stay, said Tenten as Naruto releases her chains and walks into the village. The two walk in silence until Naruto stops. In front of him is a sight that makes him outraged. A woman with long black hair with hints of blue with brown eyes is around 29. She wears a pink shirt with a red collar along with a long blue skirt coming down past her knees with AC cup. Surrounded by what seem to be 20 bandits holding knives and swords. One grabs her left and squeezes it. She flinches as they give her lust-filled grins. Hey boys, look at this pretty thing, what should we do with her? Asked a thug. How about we have some fun? Second another. They stare at her as she gives a fear-filled looks. Two grab hold of her arms and smirk as another touches gropes her while two more fondle her ass. Stop please, she shouted, but they don't care. Naruto grits his teeth before he appears behind the two that are holding her and grabs their heads. Naruto then squeezes their skulls making them scream in pain, releasing her. I hate scum like you who hurt the innocent or think woman is nothing but toys. Naruto then crushes their skulls causing bones to dig into their brains, killing them. Naruto throws them away and grins sadistically before appear in front of the three that fondled the woman's ass. They go to attack until three tails are plunged through their hearts. Naruto growls before throwing them away. The redhead teen then turns to the next and roundhouse kick him in the throat, crushing his windpipe. Who do you think you are, punk? We're Gatu's men, shouted a thug only to be a hand through his chest. Naruto turns to the next and blasts him with killer intent so bad that he kills himself. He then hits the next and he chokes on his own spit, killing him as well. The remaining 11 release battle cries and charge to their doom. Naruto starts doing hand signs before breathing out a stream of black flames that incinerate them. Naruto walks over to He-woman. Are you alright? Yes? Thank you very much for helping me. Please tell me how I can repay you. Could you show us a place to rest? Yes, if you want you could stay with us. Are you sure we won't be a bother? Of course not, our house used to be an inn. Arigato, Miss Tsunami. Thank you, Tsunami. I am Naruto and this is my companion Tenten, said Naruto, lying a bit. Follow me then, said Tsunami as she walks off smiling. Naruto tells Tenten to follow, so she complies after all, having nothing else to do until he leaves. May I ask who you live with? You Tsunami-san? Asked the red-headed teen. My son Inari and my father the bridge builder Tazuna. My father left a couple of days ago to hire a team of ninja from Konoha to protect him while he builds the bridge. That's good. Naruto the moves over next to Tenten and whispered in her ears. When they arrive you can leave with them. Tenten sighs as Naruto tosses all her scrolls and extras loaded with her other weapons and more. Tenten equips them to her belt and places a few in her pockets. The three walk in silence until they arrive at a large inn. Tsunami walks in and shouted, Inari, I am home. Suddenly a boy wearing a white t-shirt and a green piece of clothing, don't know what the heck it is, with a green bucket hat. Mama, who are they? Asked the young 8-year-old boy. Oh Inari, these are Tenten and Naruto. Hello, nice to meet you, said Tenten. Yo, said Naruto in a monotone voice with an expressionless face. Are you shinobi? Asked Tsunami. Tenten goes to speak but Naruto goes first. We are, but I am a missing nin. I'm actually quite famous among the shinobi nations, every village and each daimyo. I thought you were only famous in Konoha, asked Tenten. Tenten, have you ever heard of the triple S-class Enbu captain known as the Fox, or better known as the humanoid typhoon, with a bounty large enough to create 2 hidden villages with enough money to last 5 years? With the highest kill rate in missions complete with the lowest injury rate, asked Naruto. Yes, why? Because he is me, only the third, and Jiraiya knows of my identity. Tenten stares completely shocked at this. I was trained by the third and Jiraiya from the age of 5 for a year. They taught me everything along with the added help of shadow clones. The third tested me for genin rank and I become an apprentice under Jiraiya. I become a Chunin in Suna and a Junin when I fought Jiraiya one-on-one in front of the third. At the age of 8 and at 9 I become an Anbu, then a month later a captain. During this I made a clone to act like an idiot and play pranks while attending the academy. 2 months from the genin exams I took over and I disappeared from the Anbu Corps. No one knew that I was a captain from Konoha but Jiraiya the third, and now you, said Naruto in a monotone voice before giving off a bloodthirsty look. You know, my first kill felt so good. Tenten stared like he was crazy. Soon I started to lose my sanity, especially during the academy. You know, it took everything I had not to kill them the day I first them all and then on. Especially the Haruno and Uchiha, said Naruto with sadistic, bloodthirsty grins and licks his lips. The redhead walks over to a chair and sits down in it, but not before taking off his blades and placing them on the floor. When the Konoha team arrive, you can leave when they leave. I have no use to have you as a hostage, stated Naruto, besides only need to keep you with me until I crossed the border and arrived here. The redhead sighs before drawing blood from his thumb and doing a few hand signs. Kachiyose no jutsu, muttered Naruto, placing his right palm on the table, forming a combination of seals. A puff of smoke appears before a small red fox appears with a scroll holder on its back. Its single tail wags in the air as its giant blue eyes stare at Naruto. Kawaii, shouted Tenten and Tsunami as they pick up the fox and cuddle it. Not even caring about the teen's words. You mind releasing Onwa Suda, gentle star? Asked the teen. The girls nod and place the fox on the table, who releases a breath. Onwa Suda, I need you to deliver a scroll to Iwe from me. The scroll contains the head of an A-class missing nin Tadashi Takara, said Naruto. The fox nodded as Naruto loads the scroll into the capsule on her back and seals it. The fox then races off with incredible speed, rivaling that of Maida Guy without his weights. Onwa Suta is a delivery fox. She specializes in speed, one of the fastest too, along with the other lower level foxes, stated Naruto. Can you please show me to my room? Of course, replied Tsunami, not even caring about the hostage bit. If he kidnapped her, he wouldn't let her leave, so he mustn't be that bad, she thought. Naruto summons a futon and lays down in it, falling asleep. Time skip, 2 weeks later. Naruto awakes from his 2-week slumber of training inside his mind, with Kyuubi learning new demon arts. Naruto heads downstairs, meeting the eyes of Tenten, Tsunami and Inari. I see you're awake. Never thought someone could sleep for so long, said Tsunami with a smile. HN, replied Naruto as he takes a seat with all 5 blades attached to the left side of his waist. Suddenly the door opens, revealing an old man with gray hair drinking a bottle of sake. Tsunami, Inari, I am home, shouted the man. Father, Grandpa, shouted the two. Behind him through the door walks in Hinata without her jacket, wearing a black t-shirt with a black trench coat over the top. Her hair long with a pair of scimitars on her back. She wears black ninja sandals with black anbu pants. Behind her comes Kiba wearing a gray jacket opened, revealing a black t-shirt along with gray pants. He wears black arm bracelets with Akamaru on his head with what seemed to be a spiked collar around his neck. The next to walk in is Shino, looking the same as before, followed by a woman around 25. She has long black hair with red eyes. She wears a red dress-like shirt with one sleeve. She has shinobi pants but shorter than normal, with medical tape around her arms, torso and legs. Hello, I am Kurenai Yuhi, said the woman. Hinata Hyuga, Kiba Inazuka, Shino Aburame, said the Genin team as they introduced each other. Tsunami and my son Inari along with Tenten and, said Tsunami, introducing them, but she stops when Naruto stands, deciding to speak for himself. Their eyes widen with shock as they stare at him. Naruto Kyuubi. It's been a long time, hasn't it, said Naruto. They each become scarred, not because of killer intent, because he's not releasing any but his dead and cold-like voice. As ice seems to appear from his mouth as he breathes out. NN Naruto III is I it TT true TTT that YYUHH hold TTT the K Kyuubi? Asked, stuttered Kiba. And that you were an Anbu captain, said a scarred shinobi. I see that the third released the information and who I truly am, said Naruto as he sits back down. Don't worry, I don't plan to kill you, but if you were someone else I would, added the red-headed teen as he grinned sadistically, releasing killer intent. But different than normal, it had bloodlust radiating through it. I was hoping it would be a different group though. It's been a while since I felt the feel of the kill and blood hitting your body and blade, said Naruto with a sadistic grin. Kurenai, do you have a bingo book? Hi, replied the red-eyed woman, scarred for her and her students' lives, so she throws over her bingo book. Naruto opens up to the last page and laughs. So they put 2 and 2 together, hey. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, also known as Naruto Kyuubi, rank Enbu captain, also known as Fox and quadruple S-class missing ninja of Konoha. Mission ranks 10D, 2365C, 3593b, 5238a, 3867s, 153 sulfur monosulfide, 84 SSS and 29 SSSS with a bounty high enough to form 3 shinobi villagers. Other names: the serial killer, the Shinigami, the Red Flash, and the humanoid typhoon with the highest kill status, lowest injury status, and highest mission status. Number of kills: Genin, total 122, Iwa 32, Kiri 23, Suna 3, Kumo 16, Konoha 35, Grass 12, Waterfall 1, Sound 0. Chunin class total 190, Iwa 45, Kiri 36, Kumo 34, Suna 13, Konoha 39, Waterfall 2, Sound 0, Grass 21. Junin total 214, Iwa 76, Kiri 57, Kumo 46, Suna 24, Konoha 6, Waterfall 0, Sound 0, Grass 5. Anbu rank total 423, Iwa 105, Kiri 89, Kumo 67, Suna 24, Konoha 135, Waterfall 1, Sound 0, Grass 2. Hunter Nin class total 419, Iwa 205, Kiri 104, Kumo 85, Suna 20, Konoha 5, Waterfall 0, Sound 0, Grass 0. Missing Nin count: Iwa, D class 25, C 102, B 584, A 768, S 324, total 1803. Kiri, D 20, C 95, B 149, A 243, S 102, total 609. Kumo, D 12, C 34, B 213, A 182, S 154, total 595. Suna, D 2, C 12, B 102, A 127, S 139, total 382. Konoha, D 1, C 5, B 53, A 34, S 35, total 128. Waterfall, D 0, C 1, B 4, A 2, S 1, total 8. Grass, D 1, C 2, B 1, total 8. Missing ninja count all up 3,533, non-missing ninja count 1,368, altogether 4,901. As I said before, highest kill rating. Skill level: ninjutsu. Above cage level: kenjutsu. Above legendary: taijutsu. Above cage level: genjutsu. Above cage level: fuinjutsu. Seal Master Pro specializes in kenjutsu or forbidden arts as well as demon arts, kenjutsu and taijutsu. Noticeable features: red hair, red eyes with black slits, fangs, 3 whisker marks on each cheek, carries 5 blades. Notes: jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Yuko 9-tailed fox demon. Bloodlines: unknown, finished the team grinning like crazy. Everyone stares in shock and most wanting to bring up their lunch. How could you kill so many? Asked Inari in disbelief. I am a ninja, I kill, it's my job. Besides, all those kills were either those who hurt others or tried to kill me. Besides, I didn't even know it was that high. And that's just within around 7 years, stated Naruto with a sadistic smirk. You know, they forgot one thing in that my element alignments. Doden, earth release; Fuuten, wind release; Kaiten, fire release; Sweden, water release; Kageten, shadow release, light release; metal release; magma release; Hyeten, ice release; and Mokuton, wood release. But I have 3 new alignments. I forgot to add these to the prologue. Sand, smoke and void. Sand is wind and earth fusion, smoke is fire, water and wind fusion. While void, the deadliest of the demon elements that I had unlocked yesterday during my sleep. Fused of the 3 most deadly elements: wind, lightning and shadows, or darkness as it prefers. But in total I have 14 affinities, said Naruto as he flips through the bingo book. You mind if I keep this? Asked Naruto. Keep it, but why? Asked Kurenai, scarred still, along with her students. A missing ninja needs to make a living, replied the red-headed teen as he places the book in the right pant leg pocket. The teen stands up before walking past the Konoha team. Where are you going? Asked Kurenai. I'll be back soon, I am just going hunting. After all, the S-class missing nin from Kirigakure Tenshou was last seen camping near Wave Country, said the teen, going up in flames. The red-headed teen appears in a swirl off flames just outside of the village, surrounded by a forest. The teen heads towards what seems to be smoke. He looks from behind a tree. And there, eating a boar, is a giant man with 2 large battle axes on his back. Behind is a large tent. He has long spiky black hair with brown eyes, about 30. He wears a black shirt with black cargo pants. The sleeves of his shirt are ripped off. He has chains wrapped around his wrists as well. On each leg are 2 kunai and shuriken holsters. He wears a belt with 10-item pouches equipped to it. Around his left bicep is a kiri headband with a slash through it. "You can come out now," said the man. "So you detected me, excellent," said Naruto, stepping out from behind the tree, smirking as he unsheathes Kei's Hana, Wind Flower, and Yanaka Izumi, Midnight Water. "Who are you and what do you want?" asked the man. "Who am I is unimportant now, but what I am after is your head, Tenshou," said the red-headed teen. "So Kiri sends a punk brat that is overconfident to try and kill me? That's a laugh," said Tenshou, drawing both giant axes. "I am not overconfident because I know I am going to kill you," said Naruto, charging forward. He swings both blades, but Tenshou blocks with his battle axes. He swings Naruto into the air before launching a compressed long bullet of water at him. The stream bullet hits him in the gut, sending him rocketing into the air. Naruto smirks before his tails extend and grab a hold of 9 trees and pull him down towards the ground. Naruto hits the ground, causing a giant explosion that forms a huge dust cloud. The wind blows around the area, making trees rip out of the ground. Tenshou covers his eyes. The dust clears and there stands the teen, standing on a pillar surrounded by a giant crater that you can't even see the bottom. "For a hunter nin, you're quite stronger than the normal ones I've faced." "Oh no, I am a genin," said Naruto, telling half the truth. "You must be lying, or that you've been a genin for many years and haven't improved your rank." "Not really, I become a genin around 2 weeks ago," replied Naruto in a cold, dead voice. Tenshou's eyes bug out before he is forced to block the impact of both blades. The axe in his right hand starts to crack under the pressure of the blades. The blade then explodes into thousands of shards. The older man's eyes widen with shock as he jumps back to avoid both blades. He stares as Naruto rushes in with incredible speed. Naruto swings both blades with wind element nature chakra, making them deadlier. Tenshou dodges the blades only to have his cloths cut and blood spray outwards. "I dodged how?" Naruto smirks before holding up both blades. Tenshou stares wide-eyed at the chakra around them. "Wind chakra to make the blades' range of attack wider and stronger to take you out. After all, wind is the second most deadly primary element there is," stated the teen before he charges and swings both blades. Tenshou dodges to the side, but blood sprays outwards from his right arm, showing many deep gashes. "You're no ordinary genin," said Tenshou, holding his last battle axe with both hands. "That's because I lied to you. I took the genin exams 2 weeks ago so everyone would know who I was. But at the time I was already an Anbu captain who only I, the 3rd Hokage and Jiraiya of the Sani, knew of. I am Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, but I go by Naruto Kyuubi. I am known as Fox, Red Flash, the serial killer Shinigami, finally also known as the humanoid typhoon. The man with the highest bounty, highest missions complete, lowest injury rate and highest kill status in all the land. I am a quadruple S ranked missing ninja of Konoha. And I am after your head." Tenshou stares in shock and fright. "It can't be," blurted out Tenshou, knowing he was already dead unless he begged for his life. "Please spare me, please," begged Tenshou. "Sorry, but Kei's Hana wants your blood and I must please her," stated Naruto. Raises Kei's Hana, making wind chakras swirl around her. He brings the blade down and decapitates him. Naruto sighs and seals the head in a scroll. Naruto searches the dead body and seals away every scroll, kunai, shuriken and the battle axe before burning it. He then goes to the tent and grabs some more scrolls, sealing them away. He grabs a bag of diamonds and seals it away too, along with what seems to be 50 million Ryu. He grabs it and seals 40 million in one scroll for Wave and the other 10 in a scroll for himself. Not to mention that Tenshou's head is worth 80 million Ryu and the 15 million Ryu bounty from Tadashi, for a grand total of 105 million Ryu in total. Naruto grins as he leaves the camp after finding a freezer loaded with food along with the summoning contract for the Falcons, which happened to have nothing but Hyuga signatures and Tenshao's. Naruto sighs before opening his new bingo book and finding a B-rank missing nin of Kumo Yugito ni vessel of Nibi happened to be headed towards Wave. Naruto takes off thinking what good luck, after all, if he wishes to destroy Konoha he will need an army. And considering he was the leader of Akatsuki and Sound, which wasn't the village's hidden name. Its real name was the Hidden Village of Shadows. He allied himself with Orochimaru, who agreed to help the boy as long as he is allowed to help and kill the third. The old man, as a fool, thought the teen as he travels to the border he leaps off the bridge and lands on a branch. Naruto activates his divine dragon eyes. 10 purple diamonds appear in each eye around each slit. Naruto looks around the forest until he finds a 15 or 16-year-old girl with long blonde hair. She has green eyes with a tall, slender figure. Black Anbu pants that hugging her waist, showing off her curves. She has a large C-cup chest, wearing a purple tank top with a Chunin vest with a headband around her neck with the Kumo symbol with a slash through it. Behind her are 20 Anbu each with a Kumo headband hot on her trail, each throwing kunai or shuriken at her, yelling words like, "Die demon scum," and "I'll avenge so and so," just crossing the border of Wave Country. A good 3 days walk away. Naruto releases all his chakra weights and gravity weights before pumping demonic chakra into his legs and bursts forward with great speed, destroying the branch and the tree along with 5 others. Naruto dashes through the forest, bulldozing through tree after tree. The teen jumps over a branch before rocketing off a tree, increasing his speed. Naruto continues running. If he was in a village they would be 20 blocks away. Once reaching what would be the distance of 12 blocks he starts braking. He breaks the entire distance and rams into 5 Anbu, sending them flying kilometers away. They stare at him before glaring. "Oh, sorry about that. Who are you?" asked the captain of the squad. "Who am I? Well, I am the protector of all jinchuriki," stated the teen. "He's a demon lover, kill him." "Of course I am a demon lover, after all I am a jinchuriki and a fox Hanyu," said Naruto before his 9 tails extend and the fur becomes hard as metal and form spikes. His tails impale 9 Anbu. The other 6 charge forward as Naruto unsheathes Kodai Suchi, Ancient Earth. He plunges the blade into the ground, which causes rock spikes to shoot out and try to impale the Anbu, but they jump over them. They throw a barrage of shuriken charged with lightning chakra. Naruto sighs as rock shoots out of the ground and forms a protective wall around him. He dashes out and slices an Anbu in half before spinning into the air, sheathing the blade, and lands. The teen then folds his hands and bends his legs and has his left side facing them. "You should feel honored, you're the first I've used this style on." The strong jolt fox taijutsu style that revolves around the legs as the main weapon. Naruto then charges forward and spin kicks an Anbu into the air before appearing above him, spinning 2 with his right leg out. "Fox spinning heel drop," shouted Naruto, slamming his heel into the Anbu's head with chakra enforced blow, crushing his skull and sending him through a full-grown tree. The other 4 stare in shock before he appears in front of one. "Whirling fox," shouted Naruto as he throws a spin kick, but the Anbu dodges, but he lowers his body and slams his leg into their ribs. "Whirling fox twisting change," muttered Naruto, using his hands to spin to the right and kicking the Anbu in the left ribs, sending him into a tree. And because of the momentum of the first kick, then the second he goes straight through it, followed by another 2. "Fox cutting nut buster," screamed Naruto, appearing in front of him and kicking him in the jewels with a chakra enforced blow, destroying his pelvis. Along with coating it in wind chakra, cuts him in half. The other 3 charge like idiots, not even thinking about their dead teammates. "Fox upper kick," yelled Naruto as he uppercuts an Anbu in the chin with his foot, boosting him into the air. "Fox rapid kick," said Naruto as he appears under the Anbu doing a handstand. He then starts kicking him in the chin, making him fly up into the sky. He then pushes his body into the air with his arms and starts kicking rapidly into the Anbu's neck and chin, sending him flying upwards. Naruto lands on the ground before jumping upwards. "Fox roundhouse skull crusher." Naruto then channels enough chakra equaling half that of Kakashi Hitaki's in his right foot, and he roundhouse kicks the man in the head. His mask breaks along with his entire skull being crushed and turned into dust. The dead mon's body flies in the air before hitting a mountainside. Naruto lands on the ground and glares at the two terrified Kumo ninja. Tell your village and all the others that anyone who tries to assassinate a jinchuriki will have to answer to me. Naruto Kyuubi, vessel of the Kyuubi no Yuko, also known as the humanoid typhoon. They stare afraid at him after all each village received the information on the teen. They then run off scarred shitless. Naruto sighs and walks over to the now curled up female jinchuriki crying. Please don't hurt me, shouted Yugito ni. Naruto sighs and kneels down and moves a strand of hair from her face. Naruto places a hand under her chin and pulls her face up and smiles at her. It's alright, I am not going to hurt you, after all we're the same? I am the vessel of Kyuubi, my sister. What do you mean sister? We're not related. Not by blood but by who and what we are. We are both jinchuriki, so we must stick together, stated the teen as he smiles at her. Yugito ni thanks him before passing out. Naruto sighs and picks her up bridal style before running back to Tezuna's Hosu, but not before summoning another fox to heads to Kiri to deliver Tenshao's head and receive the bounty. Naruto arrives back at Tezuna's Hosu and walks in carrying Yugito ni. He walks in and goes up to his room with everyone's eyes on him. Naruto lies her down on his futon before walking back downstairs. Everyone looks at him. What the fuck you looking at? It's not nice to swear, said Inari. You know, out of the entire English dictionary, fuck is the only word that is referred to as the F word because it's the one magical word. Because just by its sound it can describe pain, pleasure, hate and love. Fuck, as most words in the English language, is deprived from German the word freiken, which means to strike. In English, fuck falls into many grammatical categories. As a transitive verb, for instance, John fucked Shirley; as an intransitive verb, Shirley fucks. Its meaning's not always ual, it can be used as an adjective such as John's doing all the fucking work. As part of an adverb, Shirley talks to fucking much. As an adverb enhancing an adjective, Shirley is fucking beautiful. As a noun, I don't give a fuck. As part of a word, abso fucking lootly or infucking credible, and almost every word in a sentence, fuck the fucking fuckers. As you realize, there aren't too many words with the versatility of fuck as these examples of describing situations such as fraud. I got fucked at the used car lot. Dismay. Aw fuck it. Trouble. I guess I am really fucked now. Aggression. Don't fuck with me, buddy. Difficulty. I don't understand this fucking question. Inquiry. Who the fuck was that? Dissatisfaction. I don't like what the fuck is going on here. Incompetence. He's a fuck off. Dismissal. Why don't you go outside and play hide and go fuck yourself? I am sure you can think of many more examples. With all these multi-purpose applications, how can anyone be offended when you use the word? We say use this unique, flexible word more often in your daily speech. It will identify the quality of your character immediately. Say it loudly and proudly. Fuck you, said Naruto, in the form of lecturing someone, causing everyone to look at him like he's crazy. Don't swear, shouted Inari. Say it loudly and proudly. Fuck you, said the teen, repeating the end of his lecture before turning to Kurenai with an emotionless face. So Kurenai-san, how's the village doing without half of the council, along with 99% of the academy teachers dead and without their precious Uchiha? Asked the teen in a cold, dead voice. Actually, the council members you killed were root members in disguise, and the Uchiha isn't dead along with that Haruno girl. Danzo apparently was planning to kill you if you graduated or not. But his plan changed when you went to kill the Uchiha, so he used a substation with a root member, placing a genjutsu over him to look like the Uchiha. Before doing the same with the Haruno, then when you left the village had a vote of letting you go or sending root members after to kill you. And the rule was only civilians could vote, so it was in favor of the council members that hated you. And since more than 90% of them hate you, they sent root after you. 80, I am guessing, so that's what they meant by being ordered to kill me by the villagers. I killed them anyway, the bastards. Naruto then senses two presences in the woods of two of his subordinates. Anyway, if you don't mind, I am going for a walk. The red-headed teen then proceeds to walk out the front door before going up in flames. Naruto appears in a swirl of flames by a lake. Itachi, Kisame, reveal yourselves, said Naruto before two figures appear from the wood kneeling in front of him. The first is around 18 with a straw hat. He wears a black cloak with red clouds for design. He has long black hair with red eyes with 3 red dots like swirls around each black pupil. He wears purple nail polish with a katana strapped to his back. The next is a man around 29 blue looking like a shark with gills on his face with spiked black hair defying gravity. On his back is a large zanbatu wrapped in bandages. He wears a straw hat with a black cloak with red clouds as well. Master, said the two bowing their heads. Itachi, it seems your brother is still alive. Yes, it seems so, master. Itachi head back to the village and have Pain along with the other Akatsuki members head out and tell the other 7 jinchuriki that I have her vessel and to start heading toward my village. Tell them to bring their loved ones. Kisame tells Zabuza and Haku to finish their undercover assignment in a week. I want Gatu's head for trying to assassinate one of my fellow jinchuriki. Tell them that if they fail I will kill them myself. Oh Itachi, when you head back to the village tell Orochimaru to start releasing the genjutsu and prepare a genin team consisting of me, myself and Gaara with Pain as the Junin instructor along with a team consisting of Tadashi, Manaka and Chinatsu. Another team with Zaku, Kin and Dosu and last Kimimaro, Sakin and Isaribi. But master, what about your role as Kamikage, Divine Shadow? Yes, all in good time my servant. I wish to participate in the Chunin exams so I may flaunt my power before revealing that I am the leader of the hidden village of shadows. I would continue more but it seems we have an unexpected listener. Kurenai, you may reveal yourself, said Naruto before pink petals fly in front of Itachi and Kisame before molding together to form the red-eyed Junin. She stares at Itachi with a kunai in each hand. So you're working with the S-class missing nin Itachi Uchiha, the one who massacred his entire clan along with Kisame Hoshigaki and Orochimaru who experimented on civilians of the village. All 3 traitors of their village along with you also working with Zabuza Momochi and that hunter Nin. Said Kurenai preparing to attack, I'll kill you here. You really think you can take on 3 missing nin, 2 of which are S-class and 1 quadruple S-class when you yourself are only an A-class shinobi? Kurenai grits her teeth as Kisame grabs his zanbatu. I am guessing you plan to destroy Konoha. Yes, but not for about another, started Naruto only for Kurenai to charge forward at him. How about I shut her up by cutting off a leg or 2, asked Kisame. Kisame, stand down, commanded Naruto as Kurenai swings both kunai at him. Naruto grabs her wrists before planting his knee in her gut. Kurenai, I don't plan to attack for another 5 years at the most, so you can prepare your forces, so you might as well tell them after the exam I was you. But I can't trust you. You see, I need them to keep calm until after the exams, said Naruto doing hand signs. Memory seal, whispered Naruto before his fingers glow red. He then slams them into the top of her head. Suddenly a black seal with a crow in the middle appears on her head before disappearing. Kurenai gasps in pain before falling unconscious. I sealed away the memories of our meeting and I replaced it with a memory of me telling her the Hidden Sound Village's true name and the name of its cage, said Naruto as he turns to his servants. Oh Itachi, when you arrive at the village tell Raiga to assemble Fox Squads 2A, 3C and 4A and have them prepared to attack the Hidden Grass Village to show them what happens when you betray me. I'll meet up with them there. Oh, and make sure to send 10 Anbu squads with them. Tell them to leave a week from today. Reason why a week from today is because I may be late. Oh, tell Kidomaru, Tayuya and Jirubu to leave immediately to Wave to arrange trade agreements offering twice the normal pay for items dismissed. Oh, and Itachi come back in a week to take Yugito Ni to the village, said Naruto. Hi master, said the two before disappearing with Itachi disappearing in a swirl of leaves and Kisame in a splash of water. Naruto sighs before teleporting back to Tezuna's and placing Kurenai in her room before heading back to his. Naruto walks into his room and stares at Yugito Ni before sighing. Jinchuriki are forced to face hardships at such a young age. But I promise that I shall destroy every village that despised us and for what they did to us, said Naruto in a cold dead voice before sitting with his back against a wall. Soon the world will know that if you defy or betray me you will die, said Naruto laughing darkly with Kyuubi laughing the same form within her cage. Time skip next day. Naruto awakes from his sitting position to find the blonde-haired Jinchuriki awake and sitting up staring at him. Thank you for saving me. Think nothing of it. But why did you save me? Were you forced to save me because we're the same? Girl, even if we weren't I'd still save you, replied Naruto as he stands and walks over. Thank you. Anyway, in a week Itachi Uchiha will be coming for you. What Itachi Uchiha of the Akatsuki? I see you know about the Akatsuki. What do you know of them? That they wish to extract the demons from their vessels, killing them in the process. Naruto then bursts out laughing. What's so funny? That's funny. Stop laughing, it's true. No, it's not. Besides, I lead Akatsuki. What? Yeah, it's actually their job is to find the jinchuriki and take them away from their village, or find them and tell me so I can strengthen their seals and tell them off my plans. And the last jinchuriki we were looking for is you. We've found the Ichibi, Sanbi, Yanbi, Gobi, Rokubi, Shichibi and Hachibi, plus me being the Kyubi vessel up to now, and then I found you the last demon container. I see. Once Itachi arrives, he'll take you to the village I created. What do you mean? I haven't heard of any new villages besides the one in Rice, the Hidden Sound. That's its fake name. It's under a genjutsu, but its real name is Kagekure no Sato, the village of the Hidden Shadow. The village consists of people like us, hated for absolutely no reason. Or those that look different. We also took clans from Kiri that wished to leave the bloodline war. We even took the surviving children and women of the Kagaya clan when the men went to fight Kiri, along with a child who is the only one able to use their bloodline. We have some Uchiha, the ones that Itachi didn't kill, involving his mother, cousins, aunt and uncle, along with a few others that didn't plot Konoha's destruction. The Hyuga clan in Konoha Hiyashi allied with us because we saved his brother by sending a blood clone of him that would last for a couple of years before it disappeared. In 5 years I plan to destroy Konoha for what they did to me, along with everyone other village if they defy me, said Naruto. Why destroy Konoha? Out of all the hidden villages, Konoha is the most corrupted. The council, all but the clan heads, are corrupted, same as the villagers. Konoha are idiots along with the other villages, seeing demon containers as the demons. They hold back all except Takigakure, Snow Country and Iwagakure. Those three are the only ones that treated the jinchuriki as heroes and not as weapons. So they shall not die. So you kill those that defy you or have hurt jinchuriki? Asked Yugito Ni in shock. Yes, I kill them, just as I am sending forces to destroy Grass for betraying me. Their hidden village will be destroyed in minutes when I lead the charge. The Hidden Star Village I won't destroy because it never had a jinchuriki, and besides I helped them in time of need by killing off a tyrant and destroying a meteor for their star training that was killing them anyway. I understand, but why kill them all off? Oh no, I won't kill everyone in the village, just those that hurt us and despised us, which is more than 70% of the village. Naruto starts laughing. It's going to be fun destroying the Konoha Council, especially when they see me rip apart their village and precious Uchiha. How can you do that? I mean, don't you love your village? Naruto scowls as his eyes turn cold and lifeless. Like, the reason I am like this is because of them. I despise them along with the rest of the containers. The only ones that don't are Manaka the Sanbi vessel, Emi the Gobi vessel, and you, said Naruto. Though they hate their village, they don't want to destroy it themselves. Could you tell me the names of the other jinchuriki? Asked Yugito, wanting to change the subject. Fine. First is Gaara of the Desert, son of the Yondaime, cage holder of Ichibi no Shukaku, one-tailed raccoon, 13 years of age, ex-genin of Suna. Next is Manaka, vessel of Sanbi no Isanade, three-tailed dragon turtle, age 15, ex-Chunin of Kiri. Followed by Takara Junin of Waterfall, vessel of Yanbi no Suko, four-tailed rooster snake, age 41. Next to Mi, vessel of Gobi no Hoku, five-tailed dog, ex-genin of Grass, age 8, suffers from neglect and malnutrition at a young age. Then Chinatsu, vessel of Rokubi no Raiju, six-tailed weasel, ex-genin of Rain, age 13. Next vessel of Shichibi no Kaku, seven-tailed badger from Iwa Tadashi, grandson of the Sandame Tsuchikage, ago 12. Next vessel Hachibi, otherwise known as the Yamato no Orochi, the eight-headed and eight-tailed snake vessel, Haruyo, age 19, ex-Junin of Snow. And last me, Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, or Naruto Kyubi, missing nin of Konoha and ex-Anbu, captain vessel of the Kyubi no Yuko, the nine-tailed fox, son of the Yondaime Hokage Minato Namikaze, and Kushina Uzumaki, the spirit angel. Your mother was the spirit angel, the strongest kunoichi alive besides Tsunade? Asked Yugito. She's my inspiration. I see. Anyway, Itachi will be here in a week, so rest up, I'll go get you some food. Thank you. Naruto nods, but before he leaves, Yugito Ni speaks. You should really smile now and then. I don't smile, I don't even know how to smile. I have lost almost all my emotions at the age of 5 and since becoming an Anbu, said Naruto with a cold, dead voice with cold, dull and lifeless eyes before going up in white flames. Naruto appears at the dining table scaring Kiba as he appears directly behind him. "Tsunami, my quest has awoken, may I take some food up to her?" asked Naruto in an emotionless voice. "Of course," replied Tsunami in a sweet and cheerful voice, handing him a plate of curry. Naruto thanks her and goes up in flames. Naruto appears back in his room and hands Yugito Ni the plate along with some chopsticks before placing a hand into his kunai holster. Yugito Ni stiffens, thinking he's going to kill her. "Please don't kill me." Naruto then proceeds to take out a box, then he takes out some Pocky? And it's milk flavored at that. Naruto then proceeds to munch on the stick. Yugito Ni sighs in relief before she starts eating again. Naruto munches on the milk-flavored Pocky before sitting down, finishing his previous stick before eating another stick. "Ya, now Pocky ain't that good for ya. Meh, I am addicted to it," said the teen as he pulls out a scroll and leans against the wall with his box of milk-flavored Pocky beside him reading the scroll. Yugito walks over and takes a look at the scroll's title, Advanced Demon Arts Level 10 feet. It reads, "Kitten, this boy is strong." "What do you mean, Nibby?" "Every demon has up to 15 scrolls of demonic jutsus. Level 1 being the weakest and 15 the hardest. Level 1 through 6 would be ranked B to S, while 7 to 9 double S, 10 to 13 triple S and 14 to 15 quadruple S. From 9 to 15 is forbidden techniques. I am only up to scroll 6 still. Shukaku was up to 4 last time I checked and Hachibi scrolled 10 with Kyuubi up to scroll 13. No normal human or half-breed should even be up to 10. The strongest Hanyu ever been only reached level 5. So when can I start learning these jutsus? Kitten, even with me your body would be ripped apart because these techniques require demon chakra, so you'd force mine into your system. You'd have to fuse with me first." Hi. Demon art. Dragon backlash technique. Causes a giant black dragon to appear using the dark element combined with demon chakra that will lash out using its tail before crushing an enemy between its jaws. Reads the red-headed teen. Demon art. Dark prison 1,000 years. Captures an enemy in darkness that will trap them in a dark universe for 1,000 years but puts heavy strain on the caster. Only demon lords or demons with high amounts of demonic chakra can use this technique. The first is S rank and the other is a triple S class technique. Strange putting an S class technique on this scroll. So did you ever know your parents? No, my father died sealing the Kyuubi into me and my mother died during premature labor because of the Kyuubi's chakra going into her system. You know, I have a photographic memory. Her last words to me were, "I love you my son," and my father's were, "Make me proud my son no matter if you're a ninja or civilian." Bah, I don't really care. I hate my father for cursing me up till I received his letter saying sorry and saying that if Konoha didn't respect his last wish for me to be seen as a hero I could destroy it, and I shall. That's kind of sad and strange at the same time, said Yugito Ni. What about you? I was a baby at the time and my mother was sacrificed to seal Nibi into me by order of my father the Yondaime Reikage. I was trained to be a weapon. I was tortured at a young age. My father started to fear me so he tried to assassinate me. When I was 8 a bunch of Chunin and Junin attacked me then held me down before, said Yugito Ni, breaking down crying at the memories. Naruto walks over and kneels besides her. Before what? Asked Naruto, knowing full well. They, raped, me for, hours, sobbed out Yugito Ni. It was so horrible, Damn bastards, I'll gut them. No one does that to a girl when they're 8, that's child assault. Pedophiles, screamed Kyuubi within her cage. Naruto, destroy Kumo, gut the fools for what they did to my best friend's vessel. I want justice. Kyuubi Ajo-sama, it shall be done, said Naruto out loud. What shall be done? Yugito, stay here, I am going on a little trip, said Naruto before summoning a cute little fox cub to keep her company before going up in black flames, with Kyuubi realizing bloodthirsty killer intent from her cage that could be felt outside. Naruto suddenly appears in the middle of Kumo, releasing a wave of black flames, releasing a blood-curdling inhuman roar. Everyone stares at him in fright. You people call us jinchuriki demons, but you're the true demons, shouted Kyuubi, Naruto in a Malic voice. I may have gotten rid of my emotions years ago, but I still have them. I only release them near my fellow jinchuriki or with Kyuubi-sama's orders. You shall pay for hurting Yugito Ni. You shall feel my wrath and receive justice, shouted Kyuubi through Naruto's mouth. So a demon lover is here, kill him, said a Chunin as hundreds of Chunin appear from nowhere and attack. Naruto draws blood and smirks. You shall be the first to witness a blade never seen before. Kuchiyose no Jutsu come from Galaneth. Naruto slams his palm on the ground after summoning an scroll and wiping blood across and slams the scroll with his palm on it into the ground. A large seal appears before the ground shakes. The wind roars and swirls around the area form giant tornadoes. Clouds turn black, lightning forms in the sky as fire rises from the ground. Suddenly an even large seal appears around Naruto in the form of a circle with a 5-point star in it with many seals. Suddenly the handle of a sword appears in the middle. Naruto walks over and grabs the black handle and pulls it out along with pulling out a giant zanbatsu. The blade is 3.35 meters long and 80 centimeters wide with a 30 centimeter long hilt. The blade is pure black with a demonic red aurora around it. The blade gives of its own killer intent. You shall face the largest and strongest blade in the world, Galaneth. The soul of a demon slayer fused with his own blade. The only human to ever fight on par with the Kyuubi. Everyone stares in shock, amazement, fright and awe. Awe at the blade's size and width. Amazement at a human being able to fight as an equal to the Kyuubi. Shock at a boy no older than 13 holding the blade with one hand and fright at what he might do with it. Now face justice. Naruto charges forward and slices a man in half along with 10 others. Naruto slices a man in half from the head to the groin before doing it groin up, ouch. Naruto stabs a Chunin through the chest which when ripping the blade out decapitated them in half from the chest. Naruto chops of the next's head before planting his foot with a reinforced chakra kick to someone's skull crushing it. Naruto pulls out an MP3 player and the song Animal I Have Become by 3 Days Grace starts playing. Naruto bursts forward with incredible speed and proceeds to hack away at a group of villagers, blood spraying over his body. I can't escape this hell. Naruto starts roundhouse kicking random people while chopping away at others. So many times I've tried. But I'm still caged inside. Somebody get me through this nightmare. Naruto decapitates a Chunin in half. Oh. I can't control myself. Naruto draws Onwakaminari and slices the next's head off before cutting 10 genin and Chunin in half with a single singe of Galaneth. Before proceeding to launch a wave of nature chakra, the shadow kind. A black wave of chakra flies at a group of villagers and engulfs them in darkness. So what if you can see the darkest side of me? No one will ever change this animal I have become. Help me believe it's not the real me. Somebody help me tame this animal. This animal, this animal. Naruto jumps into a group of Anbu and starts spinning, causing blood and guts to fly everywhere. Naruto throws Onwakaminari in the middle of 20 Chunin. Suddenly lightning shoots from the handle, hitting each Chunin in the heart, killing them within seconds. I can't escape myself. Naruto draws Shinsetsu Ano after sheathing Onwakaminari. I can't escape myself. So many times I've lied. So many times I've lied. But there's still rage inside. Somebody get me through this nightmare. I can't control myself. Naruto proceeds to crush an Anbu's skull. Naruto releases a wave of hot white flames to burn a group of villagers mixed with Chunin, sparing none, but the children are those that he can tell by looking into their eyes never hurt Yugito ni. So what if you can see the darkest side of me? The angry teen proceeds to heel drop an Anbu in the head, smashing his skull open before roundhouse kicking the neck in the throat, crushing his windpipe. No one will ever change this animal I have become. Help me believe it's not the real me. Naruto throws 4 kunai and hits 4 Chunin in the heads. Somebody help me tame this animal I have become. Help me believe it's not the real me. The teen throws his giant blade that spins in the air and decapitates 60 Anbu, 10 Chunin, 15 Chunin and 5 genin. Somebody help me tame this animal. Naruto starts throwing people head first into the ground, breaking open the skulls, and everyone he has killed happened to be male so far. Naruto knocks out a kunoichi before axe-kicking a male Chunin in the face before throwing a kunai at the kunoichi he knocked out, stabbing her in the heart. Somebody help me through this nightmare. I can't control myself. Naruto bashes 2 Chunin's heads together with chakra to reinforce the skull bashing before stabbing them each in the eye. Somebody wake me from this nightmare. I can't escape this hell. Naruto grabs Galaneth and starts charging through 15 squads of Anbu each with 5 shinobi and starts hacking away with a sadistic grin, laughing madly. This animal, this animal, this animal, this animal, this animal, this animal, this animal. The red-headed teen then starts throwing 4 shuriken and using the mass shadow shuriken clone technique, multiplying them to 40,000, killing thousands of shinobi and villagers. All but the children and those that he can tell didn't hate Yugito ni, which is very few. So what if you can see the darkest side of me? No one will ever change this animal I have become. Help me believe it's not the real me. Naruto used wind chakra to rip a group of 5 Chunin, 10 Anbu, 2 Genin and 12 Junin to shreds. Somebody help me tame this animal I have become. Help me believe it's not the real me. Naruto slices a kunoichi in half before incinerating a group of 2 Junin. Somebody help me tame this animal. This animal I have become. Naruto, now having eliminated 1/5 of the village stained in blood with bodies everywhere with many frightened people. Well, come on, fuck heads, everyone backs. Who or YYU? Stuttered a frightened Junin. Naruto Kyuubi, the humanoid typhoon ex-Anbu captain and your executioner, shouted Naruto, slamming the hilt of his sword into his head, crushing his skull. He truly is a humanoid typhoon. He is truly a Shinigami. Oh no, it's the Red Flash! Shouted many different shinobi and villagers running for their lives. Next thing, a figure in his 40s with long light blonde-haired and green eyes appear in the raikage robes and hat. Who dares attack my village? So you're Yugito's father, then I shall have the pleasure of destroying you. Naruto appears in front of him and plunges his left hand through the mon's chest before slicing of his head. Well, there goes the raikage. Now who's next? Asked the teen before charging forward and starts hacking away again. An hour later, Naruto rushes forward with his Zanbatsu surrounded by black flames after killing off 3/5 of the villagers' military that hated Yugito along with the villagers who hated her as well. Demon Sword Art. Black flames of the Fire Devil, black winds of the Wind Devil hear my call and cause destruction towards these mortals. Naruto slams the blade into the ground, causing black flames and black wind to shoot out to the 4 corners of the village before twisting and turning. Before turning into a giant flaming black tornado that shreds and burns everyone in the village, with only those in the shelters surviving being a few Chunin and many villagers. The flaming tornado starts to disappear, showing the village burnt and ripped apart. Naruto roars as the villagers start coming out of the shelters gasping in horror. Remember this and tell the others. That those that hurt a jinchuriki, and that when they tell of their experiences to cry they will die. For I am their justice. Naruto Kyuubi, the humanoid typhoon, the Shinigami and the Red Flash. Naruto then explodes into black lightning bolts, destroying many buildings. Naruto appears in the dining room by black lightning bolts hitting the floor, leaving no scorch marks. There sits Inari, Tazuna, Tsunami, Tenten, Yugito ni, Hinata, Kurenai, Kiba and Shino. Everyone stares at the blood covering his cloths, staining them, turning them red. His hair messed with flesh covering his cloths, along with brain juices and what seemed to be bits of a heart on his hand. Did you go on a killing spree? Shouted Tenten. Naruto turns to him with cold, lifeless eyes. Maybe, maybe not. Naruto then turns to Yugito ni. Kumo is gone. Yugito ni's eyes widen with shock at this before tears form in her eyes as she tackles Naruto and starts beating him. Why did you have OT kill them all? Shouted Yugito ni. They deserved it for hurting you. I was only following her orders to destroy them. But why did you have to kill them all? They deserved to live even for hurting me, cried Yugito. Then you should be glad that the ones who cared for you, being 10% of the village, are still alive, but their leader and your father is dead, said Naruto as he gets up and tosses her father's headband to her before wailing off. What the hell happened? Asked Tenten. His cloths are stained with blood. The Kumo headband he threw to her. I am guessing he destroyed Kumogakure no Sato from her reaction, said Shino before returning to his meal. Everyone stares shocked to this while Yugito ni cries. I don't understand. Why did he do it? Why? Hinata walks over and hugs the girl, comforting her along with Tenten. I am sorry for your loss. He did it because of how they treated me, replied Yugito ni, crying still. What do you mean? Asked Hinata. I am the same as him. I contain the Nibi no Nekomata, replied Yugito ni. You mean he killed them because they hurt you? Shouted Kiba in shock. Yes, he even killed my father, the raikage, cried Yugito ni, crying in Hinata's chest while Tenten pats her on the back. Everyone in the entire room shocked until Inari asked a question. What are you all shocked about? I don't know what Kumogakure is. Kumogakure is one of the 5 great shinobi nations and the 3rd strongest village, the first Konoha, then Iwa, followed by Kumo, next Suna and last Kiri. And to have destroyed a great shinobi village like that makes me wonder how he'll destroy the others, explained Kurenai's shocking Inari as he collapses onto his knees. Are you saying he destroyed and killed everyone in the village? Asked Tazuna. Yes. No, he only killed 90% of the population, corrected Yugito. How do you know? Asked Kiba. Simple, he told us. Remember, answered Shino before returning back to his meal. Naruto sighs as he sits in the middle of a forest wearing a fishnet shirt with a 2/3 black and 1/3 orange open jacket with orange and black anbu pants. He wears white socks with black slippers on? So far it's been a week since Kumo's destruction and rumor has spread of whom destroyed it. Naruto sighs while meditating under a tree before a woman in a white robe with a bow on her back along with scrolls full of quivers. She has purple eyes with 2 purple fox ears and 2 purple foxtails with blue tips along with long purple silky hair. She has a large sea cup wearing blue ninja sandals appear in a puff of black smoke. Azula, what do you want? Asked Naruto opening both eyes. Kyuubi dono, I have come with a message from the Demon Council involving a clan trying to enter Makai. They have asked you to eliminate them. Thank you, said Naruto as he jumps up as Azula hands him the location. What is the group's name? It's a clan known as the Sakurazaki clan. The clan was once a prideful clan of swordsmen until a tyrant of a leader took over. Before that, as I said, they were a clan of swordsmen and swordswomen that's duty was to protect the Kano and Kagurazaka clan. Powerful mages that the strongest of them was as strong as a cage. But this tyrant kills those that defy him and most are too scared to stand up to him. Half of the clans follow him without a second thought. They betrayed their clans along with those that betrayed their own clan. The others are just too afraid. The first part of the job is to eliminate this man and his followers before freeing the rest of the clans, said Azula. I see, I better get going. I'll summon you once I am done, said Naruto before running off at full speed in the direction of Earth Country. Naruto releases his gravity seals that are at 167x Earth's normal gravity, which is a shit of a lot. Along with his chakra weight seals, the 2 on his ankles and the ones on his wrist. His ankles are at 20,000 pounds each while his wrists are at 15,000 pounds each for a total of 70,000 pounds. Naruto runs through the forest at the speed of sound, leaving a black and orange trail behind him. Naruto increases his speed, creating a large sonic boom taking out a couple of trees. Naruto finally arrives in front of a large area with many buildings similar to the Uchiha clan's home that also looks like a temple with many training grounds. Naruto steps onto the grounds only to be surrounded by men and women wearing black gi are all holding katana. Who are you? And how dare you trespass on our sacred lands? Shouted the first, much taller than the rest, holding a zanbatu that is large enough to rival Zabuza's. Omi, I am just here to kill the tyrant of a leader of the Sakurazaki clan, said Naruto, summoning Onwa Kaminari before chagrining forward at the sound of speed, creating a sonic boom blowing back many swordsmen as he cuts through the man with the zanbatu before roundhouse kicking one in the throat. Naruto summons his tails to wrap around 9 necks and suffocate them before impaling his left hand through the one closet to him. Who are you to dare come in here and start killing off my clan? Shouted a man in his 40s carrying a large halberd, blade. Looks exactly like Bankatsu's weapon from Inuyasha. The man has short black hair with piercing yellow eyes with snake slits for pupils. I am assuming you're this clan's leader. Yes, I am Yamara Sakurazaki, said the man, and you are? Before I tell you my name, I have a question. Ask away, young one. Have you heard of Kumogakure no Sato's, village of the hidden clouds destruction? Yes, it was said to have been done by a man with spiky red hair holding a giant zanbatu, the largest and strongest in the world, with 9 red tails with piercing red eyes. We do not know his name. Well then, allow me to tell you. His name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, aka Naruto Kyuubi. Codename Fox. He is called the Red Flash, the Shinigami and the Humanoid Typhoon. Ex-Anbu captain of Konoha, half-fox demon and jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. And how do you know this? Because he is me and I am your executioner, said Naruto before sprinting forward, cutting through anyone standing in his way. He leaps into the air and brings his blade down, but Yamara blocks. You are a fool to pretend to be him, boy. I see no giant blade. But now face your death at the hands of Banryu, barbarian dragon. And its wielder me, shouted the man before pushing Naruto off, who spins in the air before landing. Naruto bursts forward, creating a sonic boom, and slams his fist into Banryu the halberd. You're fast, young one, being able to create a sonic boom. I am impressed. Naruto grins before he starts running around Yamara, creating sonic boom after sonic boom, blowing away the guards before disappearing and reappearing in front of Yamara. Naruto pulls off a roundhouse kick, creating a sonic boom along with it. But somehow Yamara grabs Naruto's foot and throws him into a wall. How did you grab my foot? Boy, you're not the only one who could run at the speed of sound. I could when I was young, but not now, but I can still block any attacks that you make. Well then, let's take it up a notch, said Naruto, creating a sonic boom once more. Naruto goes to kick Yamara but quickly flips over him and performs a roundhouse kick. Yamara blocks with his halberd before Naruto dashes to the left and starts sending a barrage of kicks to the mon's face. But Yamara blocks or dodges each one before he starts jumping away using his hands and legs. Naruto dashes forward, increasing his speed once more, leaving a fading image behind him. Naruto dashes forward and throws a kick before flipping himself over and performing a roundhouse kick followed up by an uppercut. Yamara growls as he just barely dodges each attack. This kid is faster than I thought. Naruto smirks before he pulling his speed up 100%. Naruto runs around Yamara, leaving full-blown images behind him. How can someone move that fast? Now Yamara face the blade I destroyed Kumo with, said Naruto, summoning the giant Zanbatsu Galanath. Everyone gasps as Naruto swings the blade with a single hand. Yamara blocks, but his blade snaps in two before he is decapitated. Everyone stares, unable to comprehend what just happened, until hundreds of guards come charging at Naruto, who just throws his blade like a boomerang. It cuts through every single one until a barrier blocks it from a mage. Dectuple water tower, cried Naruto, slamming his blade into the ground, causing 10 giant towers of water to shoot out and collide with a group of mages. Naruto charges forward and decapitates them. He continues cutting down everyone one that attacked him, trying to avenge their master. Until a man holding a girl around 5 with long brown hair and brown eyes, wearing a pink kimono with a katana to her throat, yells at him, "Put your weapon down or the girl gets it." Naruto growls at him as he starts radiating killer intent. Boy remembers, as a half-demon, our rules apply to you as well. One rule being the innocent must never get hurt or die, especially children, said Kyuubi. Hi Kyuubi. Naruto focus his killer intent on the man, releasing enough to scare even the Kyuubi. The man starts gasping before falling to the ground from a heart attack. Never ever use children against me, shouted Naruto before continuing his bloodbath. Naruto lets loose a sadistic grin as he slices through a guard before he starts chuckling evilly before releasing a full-blown evil laugh. The blood, let me feel it. Let me feel your blood on my hands, feed it to me, I want blood, screamed Naruto as he starts cutting rapidly, hacking away, making blood spray all over his body, covering from head to toe. Naruto cackles madly before he walks over to the last remaining guard and plunges his blade into his head. Once down, many come running out cheering for the death of the tyrant. Suddenly the girl that was being held captive walks over. "Thank you for saving me, mister." "Whatever," said Naruto before his blade goes up in smoke. He then burns every dead body and goes up in a swirl of white-hot flames. "Is there no one out there that can match my strength?" asked Naruto as he appears back in the forest where Azula sits under a tree. "Azula, I am done now. Tell me, is there any other missions for me to do?" "Hi, master." "Well then, out with it." "Hi Kyuubi Dono. You are to head off to a country in the Far East where the two major villagers are always in war, in the land of the ancients. Your job is to eliminate both armies and stop them from destroying priceless artifacts belong to past demons." "I don't get this one. Wouldn't it normally be stop the fighting?" "Well Kyuubi Dono, the council has decided that both armies must be destroyed to protect these artifacts at all costs." "Well, I better get going," said Naruto as Azula hands him a scroll containing the location of the armies and country, along with where they fight and who's the commander. Naruto springs off to the Far East to destroy the kingdoms with their armies. Naruto runs for what seems like hours until he reaches the border. The then stands on the water and starts running across the large ocean. Konoha. Squad 7 consisting of Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno and Sae member of Root stand with Junin Kakashi Hitaki along with Team 10 consisting of Ino Yamanaka, Choji Akamichi and Shikimaru Nara with their Junin sensei being Asuma Sarutobi. Behind them stand Anko Mitarashi, Ibiki Morino, Hatai Gecko and Hana Inuzuka. Good, you're all here now. The reason why you are here is because you are all being assigned an S-class mission. So you've finally seen my skills, HN, said Sasuke arrogantly, smirking smugly. No, you're the only available shinobi we can spare. Your mission is to head towards Kusagakure and help defend them from an invading army about 3 days away. You're to run at full speed. Anko, Ibiki, Hatai and Hana, you are to head out immediately after this briefing. Team 7 and Team 10, you are to leave in 2 hours. Make sure to arrive there quickly, informed Sarutobi the third Hokage, though I will have 20 of my best Anbu following behind you. Hi, replied everyone except Sai and Sasuke. Time skipped 2 days later. Naruto finally arrives on the other side of the ocean after running on top of it for 2 days straight. Naruto pops 2 soldier pills in his mouth before running off. The young half-demon later arrives at a large battlefield. Azula, shouted Naruto before a portal opens and Azula steps out. Yes, master, what are their numbers? Each side is estimated amount of 5,000 troops, master. This will be fun, said Naruto, charging forward summoning Galaneth. Naruto launches himself into the air and lands in the middle of the area grinning like mad. Who are you? Shouted a soldier holding a sword on the left side wearing all red armor. I am your executioner, shouted Naruto, appearing in front of him, ramming his hand through the mont's armor and out his back before pulling it out. His hand is covered in the mont's and his own blood with bits of metal stuck in. Naruto picks out the metal as his hand heals over. Naruto appears in front of the next and decapitates him. The opposite side roars and cheers. Charge and help our new ally, shouted the leader, only to gasp from the killer intent. Back of their mind, roared Naruto as he starts transforming, turning into a giant red demon fox that is 100 feet tall. Naruto starts ripping and shredding them, crushing them under his paws, releasing giant fireballs. Swishing his tails to fling them 500 feet into the air. Or to cause giant waves of fire to incinerate the army. Naruto then turns back into his human form with his clothes still intact. The teen rushes forward, grabbing Galaneth, and starts hacking away at the now remained 30% of the army. Blood spraying everywhere, covering his body, covering it even more as he chops away, laughing evilly, enjoying the bloodbath. Naruto continues to slay the hundreds of troops. Many try to run only to be slaughtered. Naruto keeps attacking, making sure that none are left alive. While the opposing army stares at just one boy being able to destroy almost an entire army by himself. Naruto cackles madly before plunging a kunai into the closet soldier's neck before pulling it out and licking the blood off before grinning lustfully, after blood that is. Naruto rushes forward and topples a man down before crushing his throat with his foot before grabbing the next skull and crushing it before ripping off another's head. Naruto licks the blood of his hands as his eyes become blood-thirsty to the brink of making everyone piss themselves, along with giving of a sadistic, mad, evil grin that scars the remaining troops. Naruto charges forward, creating a sonic boom, blowing them away before doing a stream of hand signs. Fuuten. Bloody tornado, screamed Naruto, summoning a giant tornado around the remaining troops that rips them apart, causing the tornado to turn red, spraying blood over the other army troops who are completely scared of their new ally. Once the tornado dies down, no one is left. What an excellent bloodbath. Now it's your turn, said Naruto, rushing forward and slamming his blade through the commander's head and pulls it out. Why are YYUAA attacking UUSAAA? Aren't WWWEAA allies? Asked a scared soldier, only to die. I never said such things. I came here to destroy every last one of you, shouted Naruto, continuing his bloodbath but more slowly, also summoning a wall of metal to box them in so they can't run. Charge, shouted the lieutenant. The entire army charges forward, raising their blades. Naruto's eyes widen as he licks his lips, his canine grow as he charges forward and sinks them into the lieutenant's neck and drinks his blood like a vampire before ripping out the flesh from his neck. The lieutenant drops dead with a kunai through the back before Naruto rips it out and jumps onto a wall before throwing 8 kunai. Naruto performs the mass Kunai shadow clone technique, making the 8 turn into 8,000 that rain down upon them, destroying half of their forces, bumping them down from 6,000 to 3,000. All the Kunai but 8 go up in smoke before Naruto jumps down. It's time I showed you a bloodline that belongs to me that activates when the Kami Ryugen is active. It allows me to summon metal chains from my body or the earth's surface. I would have killed you all slowly, but I don't have the time, got things to do and people to kill, said Naruto before thousands beyond thousands of metal chains shoot out from the walls and ground and start binding the soldiers before crushing them. Naruto cackles madly before going up in white flames and appearing back into the forest around Wave. Azula appears from a tree and walks over. Master, is the mission complete? Correct, now go inform the council that I am going to take a break for now. Hi Kyuubi Dono. Azula then proceeds to open a portal to Maki and steps in before T closes behind her. Naruto sighs as he clicks his fingers before all the blood raises from his body before exploding everywhere but on him, thus leaving him totally clean like nothing even happened. Naruto sighs walking back to Tazuna's house, hearing Tsunami scream. Naruto goes up in flames and appears in front of Tsunami. In front of him are 2 samurai. Well, looky what we got here, a hero, said the 2, only to have their heads rolling on the ground. Pitiful. Naruto then goes up in flames, arriving on the bridge just as Zabuza and Haku are about to fight. Black flames explode on the bridge as Naruto appears in all his glory. He wears a black long-sleeve shirt with Enbu black pants. He wears a black cloak with Kyuubi on the back along with Galaneth. Zabuza and Haku stand in front of him with Yugito ni, Tenten, Kurenai, Hinata, Shino, Tazuna, Kiba and Akamaru behind him. Zabuza, Haku, have you killed Gato? Asked Naruto. No Naruto Dono, stuttered Zabuza. Naruto growls to this. You had 2 years and it expired today. And you failed, and you know what I do to failures, said Naruto, grabbing Galaneth. Naruto Dono, we planned to kill him after this. Your mission wasn't to kill Tazuna. No, we just needed to get Zabuza away from his samurai first, cried Haku, not wanting her master to die. Fine, I won't kill you, but next time you fail I will. Your mission is over. So the demon takes orders from a child, said a fat man at the end of the bridge with 1,000 mercenaries. No worries, I'll just kill you and take the women as my slaves. You know Gato, I've been ahead of you by many steps. First I planned out that you would hire Haku and Zabuza, then I had them watch you, waiting to assassinate you for trying to kill me. But the 2 slipped up and haven't killed you yet, but I shall. With a bloodline given to me by the Shinigami himself, the Shinigami or Death God eyes, said Naruto as his eyes glow a dark crimson red. They allow me to see a person's name and their lifespan, also allowing me to drain their lifespan or life force, adding it to my own. Naruto appears in front of Gato and scowls before plunging his hand into Gato's throat. You're not even worthy of having me, drains your life force. Naruto throws the body before he starts cackling like a mad mob before releasing a full-blown evil laugh. I am God, so surrender and feed me your life force, shouted Naruto, slamming his hand through the closet mont's head. Blood, it feels good. Come and give your new god your blood as a sacrifice, shouted Naruto, and he charges forward with insane speed. He grabs the next by his throat before opening his mouth and starts sucking out a strange red energy. The man struggles until his body becomes weak before he stops completely. His eyes turn hollow as his body turns pale before his heart stops. Naruto drops him, cackling evilly. Kill him, shouted a random merc before they all charge forward. Naruto summons 200 shadow clones. Go and absorb their life force, leave none alive. Hi! Shouted a chorus of clones as they charge forward, grabbing men and start sucking out their life force along with using chains to grab more. Naruto walks over to the others, laughing madly, causing everyone to get into a defense position except Zabuza and Haku. Kiba gulps as he holds a kunai in each hand. Oh, please put your weapons down, you're not worth of dying by my hands or having me drain your life force. Even though it would be nice. So how old can you live to be? Asked a curious Kurenai. I'll tell you once my clones are done. I don't wish to keep saying the number over and over. Ya know I can't wait to destroy Konoha along with every other shinobi village except Hoshi, Taki and Iwa. Also I will not destroy Snow Country. Why them? Asked Shino. Because Star never had a jinchuriki while Iwa and Taki treating theirs like humans same as Snow Country, although I won't destroy the other villages yet, only if they defy me. As I have formed alliances with the other villages, but Grass has defied my and such, they will die soon. Just as Kumo was destroyed for harming a jinchuriki. Naruto smirks sadistically as his clones finish up and send the information along with all the collected life force back to Naruto. Ah, how I love increasing my lifespan. I can currently life up to another 186,481 years, said Naruto, making everyone's eyes widen in shock. Did you expect 80% of my victims died from me using the Rinnegan along with all those in Konoha, and I left a calling card. I am a god. Not good, he thinks he's a god. Naruto starts cackling before laughing evilly, sending chills down everyone's bones. I must be going, I have to destroy Grass now. Naruto goes up in a whirl of demonic black fire before appearing on the border to Grass. Behind him is a large army. The army consists of 10 teams of Anbu with 10 ninja per team, a total of 100. Along with 15 large dog-sized two-tailed foxes, 15 large horse-sized three-tailed foxes and 15 four-tailed foxes, the height of a large horse and a half. Naruto grins, slamming his palm on the ground, summoning a large elephant five-tailed red fox with large purple eyes. Delete Grass, commanded Naruto as his troops release a battle cry and cross the border followed by the foxes. Show Grass what happens when you defy a god. Delete them for our Lord and God, cried the commander, followed by a chorus of "Hi." Once reaching the main village, the foxes destroy the gate and charge through, launching fireballs burning many shinobi, civilians and buildings. The Anbu Black Ops followed, form behind, unsheathing their katana and start carving away. Naruto cackles as he commands his army to stop. Everyone in the village looks at him in fright. This is what happens when you defy me. When you defy a god, delete them, cried Naruto. Delete, cried his army as they destroy the village. Naruto barrels of the fox and grabs Galaneth before he starts hacking away at everyone that comes at him. Naruto grins as he forms clones to grab civilians and shinobi to then start draining their life force. Naruto cackles as he hacks away. Blood, give your god blood. Naruto grins as he walks over to a frightened 12-year-old genin, grabbing him by the throat and starts draining his life force. Naruto drops the kid once he's dead before turning to his teammates. Their Chunin sensei drops into a defensive stance. Naruto grins and appears in front of him, kneeing him in the gut before grabbing his throat and draining his life force. The genin go to run but are caught by a set of chains. Naruto smirks, summoning two clones to drain their life force, adding to his own. Naruto grins evilly as he jumps onto the highest building. Take prisoners, kill those that resist, shouted Naruto. A chorus of yelling is heard all over the village. His army grabs civilians and shinobi who surrender but kill those that resist, mostly shinobi. Naruto turns to a Chunin wearing glasses with black hair, wearing the normal Grass Chunin uniform before his headband shifts into one with a picture of Ichibi, the one-tailed raccoon. Imori, my faithful spy, how has it been? Master, I have all the information and scrolls you wanted, said Imori, handing over the secrets of Kusa along with all their scrolls containing every ninjutsu, genjutsu, taijutsu and kenjutsu that belongs to the village, all sealed in scrolls. You've done well, said Naruto, throwing over a scroll filled with money. I only live to serve you, master. Leave now while we finish destroying the village. Hi, master, replied Imori, going up in a swirl of leaves. Naruto walks over to a group of shinobi consisting of 5 genin and 2 chunin. 3 of the genin are male while the other 2 are kunoichi. While both Chunin are kunoichi, Naruto smirks as he grins. Surrender or die, said Naruto in a cold, dead voice. Never, shouted the Chunin, charging forward with a kunai in each hand. The genin each unsheath a katana and charge forward as well. Die, shouted the 7, each stabbing him in the body. Naruto's body stops moving with his hair covering his face. Suddenly his body's shoulders start shaking while he starts cackling evilly. You think you can kill me? I am a god, cried Naruto as he releases a burst of chakra, sending them flying back, shattering the blades before his wounds heal over. Naruto stares, grinning sadistically. He then looks over each of their features. The first male genin is short, around 9, with short black hair, wearing a long-sleeved t-shirt with brown cargo pants with a kunai holster at his left leg. The two other male genin are the same except one is 15 wearing a red sleeve shirt and the other is 12 with a brown shirt. But both have two kunai holsters on each leg. The 15-year-old has short red hair with brown eyes while the 12-year-old has short green hair with red eyes. Naruto turns to the two genin kunoichi. Both 15 with C-cup chests and well-developed bodies. Both having long brown hair with blue eyes, both wearing long-sleeve black t-shirts. One wears a knee-length white skirt with a belt that is pulled down around the left. Wearing a white jacket similar to Hinata's over the top but not as baggy. The other wears blue jeans wearing fish net under her shirt, both with their hite 8 around their necks. The first Chunin is around 22 with a D-cup wearing a long-sleeve purple shirt with black anbu pants. She has two kunai holsters by her waist. She wears her Chunin vest over the top with her headband around her forehead. Naruto notices that her clothing hugs her body, showing off her curves with 5 scrolls attached to her back. The other is a girl around 19 wearing a fish net with a short-sleeve black shirt over the top with blue jeans. She wears her Chunin vest opened wearing her hite 8 like a belt with a pair of scrolls on her back and a kunai holster on each leg. She has a well-developed body with a chest that would put most women to shame. "It's a shame I have to kill you, you're very well developed," said Naruto as he charges forward forming two clones that grab the males and start draining their life force before dropping them. "Fine young things, you are surrender and I won't have to kill you as well," said Naruto. "Like hell we'll surrender to you, you fiend. What a shame, seems I'll have to make you surrender, but first tell me your names." "Never." Naruto smirks, unrolling a scroll full of names and photos. Chinatsu age 19 rank Chunin. Okimi age 22 rank Chunin. Next Hikaru and Akuna age 15 sisters twins, in fact rank genin, both of the Yamahiko clan, said Naruto grinning. "Very pretty." Naruto charges forward and slaps Akuna, the one wearing the white skirt, before backhanding Chinatsu before planting his knee into Hikaru's gut. "Okimi, knock them out and take them back to the village," said Naruto. "Hi master," said Okimi, shocking the other three girls. "Okimi, why aren't you a part of grass? My allegiance is only that towards my master." Okimi grabs on of her scrolls before summoning a large fan. "Come peacefully or I'll be forced to harm you, and I do not wish to harm my friends." "Traitor, how could you align yourself with that monster?" shouted the twins. "Master is gentle when he is not bloodthirsty, and he only doing this to seek revenge for his fellow jinchuriki and because this village defied him." Naruto smirks before running off just as Okimi summons a long chain, attaching it to her large battle fan. She throws the fan before she starts swinging it around. "Fuuten!" "Gust of wind!" cried Okimi, whipping up a giant gust of wind that sends the three girls flying backwards into a wall, knocking them out. Okimi summons a pair of clones to tie them up before grabbing them and running towards Rice Country. Naruto grins sadistically as he charges through the Kusa, the hidden grass village, before coming front to front with an army of 10 Junin, 5 Chunin and 50 Anbu. "Charge!" shouted everyone, ninja running forward grabbing kunai and swords. Naruto grins running forward at the army of 65 ninja. Naruto grabs Galaneth and starts hacking away. He grabs one by the throat and drains his life force. Naruto comes eye to eye with a Junin and smirks with his Shinigami staring into his soul. "Heart attack," whispered Naruto. Suddenly the Junin grabs his heart, screaming in pain as it explodes, dying of a heart attack. Naruto turns to the next before sending him thoughts mentally. "Grab your kunai and stab the Junin closet to you before stabbing yourself." The Junin then pulls out a kunai and stabs the Junin in front of him in the back before stabbing himself in the neck. Naruto turns to 5 Anbu. "Delete them before stabbing yourselves in the throat with your katana." The 5 Anbu, wearing a dog, turtle, falcon, snake and swan mask, attack the others, killing them swiftly before stabbing themselves in the neck with their own blades. "Oh, it's sweat using my bloodline." Naruto smirks before disappearing, a swirl of flames before appearing atop the highest building, watching the destruction. 1 hour later, Naruto smirks as all the prisoners are placed into lines. An Anbu with a raccoon mask appears kneeling in front of him with a hite 8, but instead of Ichibi it has the design of an 8-headed 8-tailed snake demon. "My god, we have captured around 80% of the civilians and 40% of the shinobi. The other 20% civilians took up arms with the other 60% shinobi." In total percentage we have about 70% of the village heading towards your kingdom, my lord. Excellent, Raccoon, you may leave and tell the others to start heading towards the village. Oh, and form an alliance with the Kagurazaka, Sakurazaki and Konoha clans before sending a team of Anbu to head out and find the Nagase clan, a clan completely based on being ninja. With every single member a shinobi, a tool for assignation, trained at the tender age of 2 first to read and learn about shinobi history, then moving onwards. If I align myself with those 4 clans I'll be unstoppable, declared Naruto. Now Raccoon, I leave all orders to you. Hi Kami-sama, said Raccoon, going up in a swirl of sand. Naruto smirks before stepping into the shadows. Naruto dissolves into the shadows and travels through them back to the village. Naruto arrives in Rice Country before appearing in his village, the hidden village of shadows. Just as Naruto arrives, a man wearing a white robe with a purple rope-like belt wrapped around his waist appears. He has yellow snake eyes with long girlish black hair with pale skin. Then behind him appear 5 more people. One is a girl with short red hair wearing a black and red battle kimono. She has a hite-8 with the design of a 5-tailed dog, the gobi. The other 4 have the same design. She has a flute attached to a belt around her waist with a pair of katana on her back. The largest one is a teen with short orange hair, big body, wearing a baggy black short-sleeve shirt with baggy black track pants with red battle armor over the to, carrying a large battle hammer. The next is a body with short black hair with 6 arms, wearing a white t-shirt with 6 sleeves attached. He wears black Anbu pants with armor covering his arms and torso, with 3 bows on his back and 3 containers for quivers. Don't know what the carrying case is called. The next is a teen with teal hair with a body attached to his back that is his brother's. Both wear long-sleeve black t-shirt with black Anbu pants, both carrying a pair of scimitars. And the last is a teen with long white hair with 2 dots on his forehead, showing he's a Kagaya. He wears black Anbu pants with a battle kimono top that goes past his knee and past his hands, flexible enough for his techniques, along with carrying a pair of kodachi. Orochimaru, Sakin, Jirubu, Tayuya, Kidomaru, Kimimaro, pleasure to see you again, said Naruto, grinning. Same here, Naruto-san, said Orochimaru. Welcome back, Naruto-sama, said the other 5, kneeling in front of him. Thank you. Anyway, Orochimaru, down to business. What are the status of the wood users? They are just fine. Their abilities may not be as good as the Shodai Hokage, but they're still good nonetheless. Excellent, but what of the water, ice, Sharingan and Byakugan users? The same, they have pulled their fused bloodlines to their strongest form. The water uses implanted with the second's DNA can pull water from the air, and the Hyaten uses are halfway towards Haku's level. The Sharingan uses have reached the Mangekyo Sharingan thanks to you placing small amounts of your demon chakra into their eyes. And the Byakugan uses have a full 380 degrees view and have improved their gentle fist strikes to 10 per second. Excellent, just what I wanted to hear, said Naruto, until Raccoon appears. Master, I have some good and bad news for you. Well, tell me the good news. We have finished destroying and capturing all of Kusa's remaining forces, but the bad news is 32 shinobi from Konoha have just arrived and have started to attack our men. 7 are Genin rank 4 or of special Junin, 2 are Junin 20 or Anbu, and 1 is Anbu level. Do you wish for us to eliminate them now? No, Raccoon, let me do it. Hi Naruto Dono. The 2 then go up in a swirl of sand before appearing in the middle of the destroyed Kusa, surrounded by 32 Konoha shinobi, and they all recognize Naruto. It's the demon, shouted an Anbu, only to have Raccoon holding a blade to his back. Never call my god that ever again, stated Raccoon. What do you mean god? Shouted a pink-haired banshee. My master is no human but a god, replied Raccoon. And Pinky, you should shut up and change your clothing. Red is not a very good color to hide with. So the Dobi is here, said Sasuke, charging forward only to have a foot planted in his face by Naruto, who then pushes him back. Nay Kakashi, is he always like this? Hi Naruto senpai, said Kakashi. Senpai, well, he outranks me and is stronger. After all, I was under his command before I became a Junin. Enough, kill him, shouted an Anbu wearing a bird mask, only to be killed by Raccoon. I am sorry, I can't allow that Anbu assemble, cried Raccoon. Suddenly every Anbu that attacked Kusa appears, but their headbands are different to Raccoon's. They have a 2-tailed cat on theirs, the demon known as Nibi. Naruto sighs before pulling out his own headband with the design of Kyuubi on it. What's with the different headbands? Asked Ino. Each handband shows the Biju and their ranks. So these guys with the two tails are the 8th strongest and they're Anbu. What are you talking about, Sasuke? Well, everyone knows that from weakest to strongest Ichibi is the weakest and Kyuubi the strongest, replied Sasuke in an arrogant tone. Imbecile, that's only chakra and stamina ranks. In reality their strength ranks differ. The strongest is Kyuubi, then it goes Hachibi, Gobi, Nibi, Rokubi, Sanbi, Shichibi, Ichibi and Yanbi. But with stamina and chakra Kyuubi has the most, so it's ranked first, then Hachibi, Shichibi, Rokubi, Gobi, Yanbi, Sanbi, Nibi and then Ichibi. But their containers are entirely different in strength. The Yanbi's vessel is the oldest jinchuriki and he was known as the Raging Fist of Waterfall. What, the one man who saved Waterfall from destruction during the war between Konoha and Iwa? Asked Asuma. I think it's the third shinobi war, one don't remember, can someone please tell me the one with the Yondaime in it? Yes, him. But anyway, you're too late to save grass, after all those that defy me will never survive. I am sure you heard about Kumo, asked Naruto. Yes, it's, said it was, destroyed by a, splat, man with a, giant blade, answered Hayate, coughing and hacking. They send an injured man, how pitiful, said Naruto as he activates his Shinigami again. Now who dies first? Everyone gets into a battle stance but Sakura charges head on. You can't beat me, you're an idiot, cried Sakura idiotically. Naruto whacks his forehead before grabbing Galaneth from his back and using the flat side to send her flying into a wall. That blade, gives it to me, demanded Sasuke. Naruto tsks and tosses it in front of him. Sasuke smirks and grabs the handle and tries lifting it, but he can't even lift the handle and it just sinks into the ground. Why can't I lift it? That's because Galaneth will not let you use him and he weighs 3 times Earth's gravity, said Naruto in a monotone voice before appearing in front of Sasuke and holds Galaneth with one hand. Everyone stares in shock as he holds the blade before Sai charges at him. Naruto smirks sadistically and slices him in half with ease, only for him to turn to ink. Suddenly 5 lions made of black ink charge at him, only for Naruto to release 5 balls of air colliding with them and exploding. Please, is that all your team has to offer? I'd rather chat to Kurenai and her team in Wave than be here, stated Naruto. Wait, you've seen Kurenai? Asked Asuma. Yes, and Tenten will be heading back to Konoha with them when their mission is complete, thanks to me killing Gato for them. Those Abusa and the Demon Brothers work for me as well as Haku, but they failed to assassinate him, but I am giving them another chance. I demand you teach me. Guess who? Uchiha. You Uchiha use your eyes every time. You don't even know what being a true shinobi is like, training hard and not copying others' techniques who have worked hard. Your clan are pitiful. The only true Uchiha is Itachi, who works for me. After all, I could kill him instantly. But I'll tell you a little secret, in Rice Country there is an entire clan of Uchiha who do not use their eyes all the time, only when needed, said Naruto, grinning. Itachi didn't kill them all, only half. And also another secret. Every subject Orochimaru experimented on is alive. We faked their deaths. After all, the council ordered him to do it, and if not they would kill Anko there. You know, he never got the chance to fix your curse seal. It's not in its true state. The true name of the curse seal is the divine seal. It allows power to the user without making them go crazy. Orochimaru tried to find a way to develop the curse seal to another level so it wouldn't take over the person's mind and kill them. Naruto walks over to Anko and uses killer intent to make her fall to her knees. He removes her trench coat and places a palm on the curse seal of heaven on her neck. He channels demonic chakra into it along with his own. Curse sealed true form reveal. Yeah, I couldn't think of anything. Suddenly Anko's curse mark starts to change into a white sword before spreading angel wings with white feathers, also destroying the evil suppression seal around it. Anko is surrounded by white chakra before angel wings sprout from her back. Her hair grows longer, turning pure snow white as her skin turns a bit pale before another set of wings sprout. Our eyes turn snow white along with her lips. Suddenly snow starts to cover her body, forming protective armor around her before residing back into the seal. See, that's the heaven mark's true form, said Naruto as everyone stares at its power. Give me the mark, demanded Sasuke. Uchiha, stop demanding things from your enemy, said Naruto, appearing in front of him as his canine turned into long vampire fangs. If you don't, I'll suck your blood dry. After all, I've been awfully hungry lately. Everyone gulps before Naruto walks over to a dying Anbu. He removes the clothing around his neck and sinks his fangs in, drinking his blood before pulling away and spitting it out. It's hard to find good tasting blood these days, it's always tainted, said Naruto as he grins sadistically before 18 of the 19 remaining Konoha Anbu attack him, the only one that's not is an Anbu in a cat mask. Naruto proceeds to roundhouse kicks an Anbu wearing a snake mask. Before grabbing an Anbu wearing a tiger mask and throwing her into a tree before planting his foot in an Anbu wearing a chameleon mask, thus sending him flying through a building before slicing an Anbu wearing a frog's mask from the pelvis upwards. Naruto teleports in front of the Anbu with the cat mask and grabs her by her throat and lifts her into the air. Naruto removes the mask, revealing a woman with long purple hair. "Yugo Izuki," said Naruto as he plants his fangs into her neck and slams her up against a wall. But instead of screaming, she moans in pleasure. Everyone stares in confusion before she starts biting her lip, trying not to moan. Naruto drops her after drinking her blood for a minute. She slides down the wall, her entire body shaking, filled with great pleasure with lustful eyes. "What did you do?" asked Hatai. When a fox demon sinks his of her fangs into the opposite, they are filled with a great pleasure, better than they say, and I guess it's true, started Naruto, grinning madly. "Although allow me to tell you something, I am a Hanyu. Half demon and half human," said Kakashi, only for Naruto to scowl before growling at him. "Never ever call me a human. I am half demon half vampire," shouted Naruto. "What are you talking about?" asked Choji. "Did you know that the Uzumaki clan were actually vampires? And that was the cause of Whirlpool's destruction, because the other nations saw them as a threat, so they destroyed the entire village. Only my mother survived and went to Konoha, their allies. She later started dating the fourth and then become his wife and had me half human and half vampire. But since fusing with the Kyuubi has rid me of my human side, making me 50% demon and 50% vampire," stated Naruto. "And as I said, when a fox demon sinks their fangs into a member of the opposite, they receive a form greater than it also applies to vampires. But here's a little secret: women have the juiciest blood, but a woman between the age of 13 and 28's of blood is juicier than the rest. Especially if they're a virgin." Naruto licks his lips before appearing in front of Ino and sinks his fangs into her neck. Everyone stares in shock before Asuma rushes in with his trench knives, adding his wind nature chakra. Naruto grins mentally as Raccoon stops the attack by using his katana to block them by using his own wind nature chakra before Naruto summons a clone. "I wouldn't do that if I was you. All myself has to do is release a little bit of demonic chakra through her system to shut it down before rebooting it and changing her into a half-demon. And I doubt Konoha would want a half-demon, especially a fox one at that, in their midst," said the clone. Asuma jumps back cursing as 10 Anbu surrounded Naruto and Ino. Naruto releases his grip after a minute and pulls away with blood on his lips and fangs. "Excellent, her blood was exquisite. The taste and the texture, this is the reason I love women's blood," stated Naruto, licking his lips before Ino falls to the ground out cold. Naruto grins sadistically before Sasuke runs at him with red eyes with black pupils with 2 black tomo around each pupil. "So Uchiha has a level 2 Sharingan." Naruto then roundhouse kicks Sasuke, flying into a pole but remaining consciousness. Sasuke turns to Kakashi, who starts doing hand signs for the Chidori. Sasuke smirks as he copies it with his eyes. Kakashi grabs his hands as lightning sparks form it. "Chidori!" cried Kakashi, running forward and thrusting the attack forward. "Kakashi, if your Reikiri didn't work, this won't either," stated Naruto as he axe kicks Kakashi's hand into the ground and flips away as Sasuke comes running doing the same hand signs. "Chidori!" shouted Sasuke while everyone stares, even Kakashi. "That bastard copied my technique without asking," shouted Kakashi mentally. Sasuke thrusts his arm forward only for Naruto to sigh before appearing under the Uchiha and uppercuts him into the air with his foot. Sasuke grunts as he lands on the ground as Asuma rushes in with his trench knives. Ibiki appears next to him performing hand signs. "Doden! Mud bind!" cried Ibiki, placing his hands on the ground before mud shoots out from the ground beneath Naruto and wraps around him before hardening. Perfect, if I just watch I can copy all the jutsus I need, thought Sasuke as Asuma swings the trench knives and jumps back. Next, two large gashes appear on Naruto's body only for him to laugh. Is that the best you got? Anko grins sadistically as she appears next to Ibiki doing her own hand signs. Kaden. Karyu Enden no Jutsu, Fire Release. Fire Dragon Flame Projectile, shouted Anko, breathing in before releasing a large jet of hot flames from her mouth that head towards Naruto. Asuma appears behind Naruto doing hand signs. Oil Bombardment, shouted Asuma before spitting oil all over the red-headed teen. Asuma shushens away, appearing next to his team just as the large jet of fire hits Naruto, igniting the oil, creating a giant explosion. Excellent, these jutsus will do well to defeat my brother. Suddenly from inside the fire laughing is heard. Naruto steps out unharmed before saying, I am disappointed, and oh by the way, the Uchiha just copied all your techniques. Everyone stares at Sasuke in shock and anger. Piece of trash Uchiha, cried an angry Anko. Kakashi, you need to teach him not to copy others' techniques. Hey, he copied my Chidori as well and I didn't want him to, so how do you think I feel? He's an Uchiha, Mitarashi-san. Hitaki-san, most are like that, said Naruto, performing hand signs, slowly grinning the entire time as Sasuke copies. Uzumaki clan secret summoning technique. Bombardment of hell's fireballs, cried Naruto before a large gate surfaces from the ground. It opens, revealing nothing. Next thing, thousands of black fireballs shoot out and hit the ground, exploding, causing everything to go alight. Now I'll kill you, cried Sasuke, performing the same hand signs. Uzumaki clan secret summoning technique. Bombardment of hell's fireballs, shouted Sasuke, but instead of a gate nothing happens at all. Why didn't it work? Shouted Sasuke. Because it won't work for you. I demand it too. Why should you have power? You're a dead last while I am the rookie of the year. Naruto's sweat drops. Yo idiot, it's a clan technique. As in that jutsu belongs to the Uzumaki clan and can only be used by us, no one else. Kakashi rushes forward, performing hand signs rapidly during the confusion. Kaden. Dai Enden, Fire Release. Great Fireball, cried Kakashi, breathing in, gathering fire in his mouth before spewing a giant breath of fire from his mouth continuously. Naruto is hit by the fire and sent flying into a wall as flames continuously hit him, only to be blown back by a giant gust of wind. Idiot, fire won't work on me, stated Naruto as he grabs a 4-ball from his shoulder and eats it. Fire can't hurt me. Kakashi curses before Ibiki and Anko appear in front of him doing hand signs. Sweden. Suiryuden no Jutsu, Water Release. Water Dragon Projectile Technique, cried the two before water shoots from beneath them thanks to an underwater spring, forming into two large dragons. The dragons fly at Naruto, who performs his own hand signs. Sweden. Dai Suiryushoheiden no Jutsu, Water Release. Great Water Dragon Collision Destruction Projectile. I think. Technique, cried Naruto, summoning a giant water dragon 5 times the size of the Hokage Tower. Everyone stares in shock as the giant water dragon decimates and absorbs the other 2 water dragons before colliding head first into Kakashi, Anko and Ibiki, creating a giant tidal wave. The giant tidal wave washes everyone away except the shadow shinobi, who stand atop the water. Kakashi and the other Chunin rise from the water while the genin grab onto poles and other items. Weaklings, muttered Naruto as water ropes shoot from beneath all the Chunin and stop their movements. Suddenly the remaining 17 Anbu burst from random buildings and run at Naruto with their katana held high. Naruto smirks as he activates his Kami Ryugen. Fuuten. Spinning tornado trapping shield, whispered Naruto before a giant tornado appears around and him, captures the 17 Anbu. Fuuten. Sword-cutting explosion tornado, said Naruto before the tornado explodes but without making a giant bang. Instead, the wind slices through every Anbu member, killing them before their bodies hit the ground. Too easy, aren't Anbu meant to be the best of the best? Geez, they really started to slack off during the year I was in the academy. Also, I have something to say, as Sasuke was a so-called prodigy, he would have graduated early. Like when I became a genin at age 5, a chunin at age 6, junin at 8 and Anbu at 9, later becoming captain 5 months later. And if he was a prodigy, he'd see that demanding things from your enemy isn't so smart, nor is it to attack someone who is a quadruple S-class missing nin when you're only a genin that isn't even in the bingo book, stated Naruto. Oh, and to learn that a true shinobi hides his skills, plus not to call someone a dead last when it was all an act, especially when they're a million times stronger than you. Shut up, Dobi, shouted Sasuke, utilizing the water walking exercises to stand on the water, followed by the others while Choji holds Ino. Sasuke rushes at Naruto with a pair of kunai along with Sakura. Naruto sighs in frustration as he grabs the Uchiha by the wrists and throws him underwater before grabbing Sakura and plunging his fangs into her neck only to pull them out immediately. Naruto spits out the blood and gags before kicking the pink-haired shinobi away. Awful, just awful, your blood is tainted so much that it's like poison in my mouth, shouted Naruto, wiping his lips before pulling a scroll and summoning a vial of blood before popping the lid and drinking it. Much better, added the red-headed teen. Well, come on, I thought you were fighting, said Naruto before raising his right arm and blocking a giant spinning gray tornado in the form of Hana Inuzuka. Is that the best you got? Naruto grins as he roundhouse Hana into a building before dodging a large fireball from Ibiki. I've had enough, all troops pull back, shouted Naruto as all his troops go up in smoke. Well, see y'all later, I'll be in wave. Naruto smirks as he goes up in a swirl of black flames, waving goodbye to the Konoha shinobi. Naruto grins as he arrives back in Tezuna's home, in front of him being Haku, Zabuza, Yugito ni, Tenten, Kurenai, Hinata, Kiba, Shino, Tsunami, Inari and Tezuna sitting down eating. Yo, said Naruto, grinning, showing his fangs. Cool, cried Inari as he runs over looking at the fangs. Hey kiddo, said Naruto, ruffling his hair as he turns to the others. Zabuza, Haku, you'll leave tomorrow. Yugito ni, your escort shall arrive tomorrow, I am guessing, since he's 2 days late. Oh, and Tezuna, 3 of my most loyal guards will be coming here to making trade agreements with you, said Naruto as he goes up into flames. Naruto sighs as he sits behind his desk in his tower reading a jutsu scroll while his shadow clones do his paperwork. Naruto presses the intercom. Akari, get me Orochimaru. Hi, replied Naruto's secretary. Minutes later, Orochimaru appears in a swirl of black leaves. Hello Naruto-kun, why have you called me? Orochimaru, form a genin team for me. I want to train a team for the upcoming Chunin exams in 6 months. But master, aren't you participating in them as well? Asked Orochimaru, a bit confused. Yes, I am, but I just wish to train a team of rookies to see what will happen. Also assign our best Junin to the other genin teams. I want every genin team that passes their tests from their Junin to enter the exams. So that way we'll have more chances of having our own becoming Chunin. Get me the latest graduates so I can assign my team and the others. Hi Naruto-kun, said Orochimaru, going up in a swirl of black leaves before appears an hour later with all the new genins. Naruto looks through it, organizing each team, thanking that none of the girls are fangirls. All except one who didn't get her fangirlness knocked out of her. I'll take the fangirl and change her along with the Genya, ranked 10th. He may have failed all the written tests, but his skills in ninjutsu is ranked 3rd, Kenjutsu ranked 5th, Taijutsu ranked 10th and Genjutsu ranked 20. The fangirl, her ninjutsu is ranked 30, only knowing the basics. Her taijutsu the same, her medical jutsus are ranked 15th and Genjutsu 12th. Let's see, I'll also take Hanaka Hiroko. She was ranked 2nd in the entire class, her taijutsu ranked 3rd, Kenjutsu ranked 2nd, Genjutsu ranked 1st, Ninjutsu ranked 2nd, Fuinjutsu ranked 3rd and Medjutsu ranked 5th and came 3rd or 2nd in most written exams. Overall, Hanaka and the boy Genya Taiju will be the best on my team, while Riza Kaharu will be the weakest, who cares more about her looks than ninjutsu, but I can change that. At the end of the 6 months they'll be one of the strongest genin teams besides my team. Naruto grins sadistically before going up in flames. Naruto appears in front of all the new graduates grinning. Yo, class, this is an honor, our Kamikage has come to see you off, said a Chunin with short black hair and blue eyes wearing the normal Chunin attire. Taiga, if you don't mind, I'll call the teams. Sure Kamikage-sama. Team 1, started Naruto going down the list. Team 12 consisting of Taiki, Koko and Daichi Junin Sensei Genta, said Naruto as a man with short red hair with green eyes walks in wearing a Chunin vest along with black cargo pants, short-sleeve black shirt with a pair of nodashi on his back. Team 12, called the man, and 3 youths follow after him. And last Team 13 consisting of Riza Kaharu, Genya Taiju and Hanaka Hiroko. Your sensei is me, said Naruto, making the 3 genin stare in shock. You're joking, right? Asked a girl with long purple hair, well-developed body around 13. She wears a white skirt with a long-sleeve black t-shirt. 2 kunai and shuriken holsters on each leg with a pair of katana on her back with brown eyes. No, I am not Team 13, meet me on the roof. The 3 genin nod as Naruto goes up in smoke. 5 minutes later the 3 genin arrive on the roof to find Naruto leaning against the railing. Take a seat and say your name, likes, dislikes, hobbies and dreams. Sensei, why don't you go first, said the fangirl. Fine, my name is Naruto Kyuubi the Kamikage. My likes are blood, destruction, eating, swords and killing. My dislikes are those that hurt others and hurt jinchuriki. My hobbies are eating, drinking, training and killing. And my dream is to destroy Konoha and all the other villagers that hurt the jinchuriki, said Naruto in a monotone voice. You with the purple hair, go. My name is Hanaka Hiroko. My likes are my family, training, katana and jutsu. My dislikes are weak people, looks at Riza, and arrogant people. My hobbies are training, sleeping and learning new jutsus. And my dream is to one day own a zanbatsu and become one of the kamikaze's bodyguards. Naruto nods before turning to the other girl. She has an undeveloped body that is very thin with long green hair. She wears a red dress with a black shirt underneath and short black anbu pants. She has a kunai, shuriken holster on her right leg with purple eyes. You with the green hair, you're next. My name is Riza Kaharu. My likes are, looks at Genya and blushes, and vegetables. My dislikes are idiots. My hobbies are, blushes, looks at Genya. And my dream is, looks at Genya and squeals. Naruto groans before pointing Onwa Kaminari at her. Listen up, Riza, in the ninja world fangirls die and are a disgrace to all kunoichi. You are the weakest on this team, so I'll tell you something, gets over your crush, because if you don't, you or someone else will die, understand? Hi, muttered Riza, because my training will kill you if you do not shape up. If you slack off, me will give you even worse training. Now the boy go. Naruto looks at Genya Taiju. He has spiky black hair that goes past his shoulders with white pupils. He has a pair of chakra blades by his waist with a rectangular handle. He wears a long-sleeve black t-shirt with a sleeveless jacket over the top. He has brown cargo pants with 3 kunai, shuriken holsters on each leg. He wears a belt aligned with scrolls and 2 item pouches at the back. My name is Genya Taiju. My likes are training, sleeping and eating. My dislikes is a certain person who annoys me and arrogant people. My hobbies are training and learning new jutsus, and my dream is to become an Enbu captain, then one day the next Kamikage, said Genya. Good, now I won't give you a test like the other Chunin, I will be assessing your skills. Meet me at training ground 6. The genin nod and run off while Naruto goes up in flames and appears in his home and starts grabbing scrolls. He lives in a giant mansion. Naruto sighs and waits 10 minutes before going up in a swirl of leaves and appearing at training ground 6. A normal training ground with a large lake surrounded by a forest with 10 training stumps. After another 5 minutes his 3 students arrive. Alright, before we begin, tell me your element alignments. Genya first, then Hanaka and last Riza. I have an alignment towards fire, earth, wind and lightning. I am shadow, water and earth, said Hanaka, surprising Naruto a bit while Genya surprises Naruto the most. Earth and water is my main, but I do lean towards fire, said Riza. Good, now each of you will attack me first. Genya, come at me with the intent to kill. Begin, shouted Naruto as Genya charges forward, grabbing his chakra blades and channeling chakra into them. 2 blades made of blue chakra shoot out with a hiss as he attacks. Genya flips over Naruto and swings his leg. Naruto rolls to the side before channeling chakra into his hands and grabs the chakra blades. Naruto flips into the air and lands on a branch as Genya does a long line of hand signs. Fuuten. Drilling air projectile, cried Genya, breathing in before releasing 5 balls of compressed air at Naruto. The 5 balls hit the branch and tree before exploding. Naruto smirks as he appears behind Genya and stabs a kunai in his back only for him to burst into flames. "A fire clone good," said Naruto as he dodges a barrage of kunai and shuriken before summoning Galaneth to block the chakra blades. Naruto grins and performs a roundhouse kick in 2% of his normal speed. Genya blocks but is sent flying across the area into a training stump. Genya stands and starts doing hand signs. Kaden. Karyu Enden no Jutsu, fire release. Fire dragon flame projectile, shouted Genya breathing in before releasing a large jet of fire from his mouth. Naruto sighs and slams his right foot into a ground, causing a giant chunk of earth to shoot up and block the fire attack. Is that all? Raiden. Raryu Raiden no Jutsu, lightning release. Lightning dragon lightning projectile, yelled Genya. He breaths in before releasing hundreds of thin bolts of lightning from his mouth. The bolts twist and turn before turning into one single large giant lightning bolt. The lightning bolt strikes the wall, destroying it and sending Naruto flying backwards from the explosion, also with burn marks up his arms and legs. Interesting. Who taught you that technique? I created it, replied Genya grinning. If I had been hit by that I would say I would have died. I am naming that an A-class assignation technique, said Naruto clapping. Genya smirks, charging forward performing a roundhouse kick, but Naruto blocks. Genya smirks before using his hands to twist himself the other way, performing a spin kick. Genya jumps into the air spinning with his heel out. Genya slams his heel into Naruto's head, causing him to crash into the ground, but he goes up in smoke. The real Naruto walks out from behind a stump clapping. Where did you learn that taijutsu? Well, I once saw you use your strong jolt fox taijutsu stance when you were practicing it, and I copied a few of your movements and integrated them into my own stance, the strong drop falcon. That's a strong and ancient taijutsu stance. Did you learn it? It belonged to my clan, said Genya. Well, you pass. Hanaka, you're next. Hi. Hanaka runs over, unsheathing her katana and settling into a stance. Begin. Hanaka charges forward, channeling earth nature chakra into her blades. Kenjutsu art. Land-crushing burial, cried Hanaka, swinging both blades with the tip cutting into the ground. Suddenly the ground explodes and flies at Naruto, who starts releasing a barrage of kicks to send the pieces of dirt and rock away before the land beneath him cracks open and he falls into a hole that closes up and compacts around him. But instead of blood, the ground explodes and Naruto appears in the air spinning before landing on the ground. Good, keep them coming. Suiden. Suiryuden no Jutsu, cried Hanaka, summoning a large water dragon from the lake that flies at Naruto. Naruto sighs and forms a sphere of spiraling blue chakra in his palm. Rasengan, whispered Naruto, slamming the sphere into the dragon before it explodes, making it rain. Good, your Kenjutsu technique I would mark as an A-rank assignation. Hanaka smirks and runs forward. She throws both blades at him. Kageten. Following shadows, yelled Hanaka before the shadows from the trees and stumps extend before grabbing onto the sword's shadows before connecting to Hanaka's. Hanaka starts moving her hands, thus causing her shadow to move the same, making the swords move. Hanaka starts using the shadows as whips to swing her swords towards Naruto, who rolls out of the way or blocks. Suiden. Water dragon projectile cannon, cried Hanaka, breathing in before releasing a strong and large jet of water from her mouth that collides with the red-headed teen, sending him flying into a tree. Excellent, the Shadow 1C class and the water technique B, said Naruto before rolling out of the way to dodge a flying sword. Naruto jumps and flips into the air to avoid a kick sent by Hanaka. Good, you pass. Riza, you're next. Riza nods and takes the academy basic stance. Naruto TSKS. Begin. Riza charges forward and throws a sloppy punch. Naruto catches it and throws her over his shoulder. Bunshin no Jutsu, cried Riza, forming 10 bunshins and charges forward. The 9 illusions attack and puff out of existence, allowing Riza to throw a punch at the teen's head, but he catches it and throws her over his shoulder again. Only for Riza to puff out of existence, revealing a wood log. Suddenly a barrage of shuriken shoots out from the bushes. Shuriken Shadow Clone Jutsu, cried Riza. The 20 shuriken become 40 and fly at Naruto. Firewall, muttered Naruto before breathing in and breathing out a stream of flames that forming into a large wall and destroy the shuriken. Riza walks out of the forest panting and sweating from chakra exhaustion. After forming 10 illusions, performing a single substitution and pulling of a shuriken shadow clone technique which is D and the other are E, you are exhausted. You fail, but I will teach you. Thank you, muttered Riza before fainting. Okay, we'll practice chakra control, and when she wakes up I'll teach you as well. Now what exercises do you already know? We both know the tree climbing and water walking, and so does she, said Hanaka. Good, then I'll teach kunai balancing. Channel chakra into your fingertip and a kunai. You have to make the chakra in the kunai stay balanced, if not it topples over and the chakra in your fingertip to stop you from cutting yourself. This is an Anbu level chakra control. Begin. The two nod and pull out a kunai each and start the exercise. An hour later, Riza awakes and Naruto starts instructor her on the exercise which she completes easily because of her small reserves. Hey, I did it. I am going to brush my hair, said Riza preparing to leave. Stop right there. Riza turns to her sensei scared of him. You are to practice the tree climbing exercise while balancing a kunai on your fingertip. And you are to add a new kunai when you get the exercise right. And you won't stop until you can balance 10 kunai at a time while walking up and down. The same with you too once you're down, stated Naruto. Riza, you have small reserves so you can easily do this exercise, but I want to increase your reserves until I can teach you a B-rank jutsu that you can use twice without tiring. Hi sensei, said Riza as she starts the exercise. Oh, and once this training sessions is over, Hanaka will take you shopping for cloths that actually suit a ninja and you'll pay through my account. Also, you'll be getting a pair of scimitars. Hi, Naruto sighs before calling his students and unsealing 3 sets of training weights. Place these weights on your wrists and ankles, commanded Naruto. The 3 nods and do as he says. Naruto grins before summoning his tails touch his students at the back of their necks. He then channels chakra through his 3 tails and the chakra spreads to each weight. Suddenly the 3 fall into the ground. What the? Shouted Genya. Those are chakra weights. I have set your wrist weights to 10 pounds each and your ankles weights to 20 pounds each. Currently that's 60 pounds of extra weight on your body. Now get up and give me 100 laps around the area followed by 100 sit-ups, push-ups, chin-ups, squats, jumping jacks, left kicks, right punches and left punches, then repeat twice more. The 3 students groan and do as he says. Naruto smirks before doing hand signs. Time distortion 5 hours 5 months, muttered Naruto before placing his hands in the center of the training ground. Suddenly an invisible dome of chakra appears around the training ground, slowing down time inside. Now we'll train for the next 5 hours, which will equal to 5 months in here. Naruto ups his gravity weights to x200 and ankle weights to 50,000 pounds each and wrist weights to 25,000 pounds each. And he starts running 1,000 laps. Keep running, uses your chakra to support yourselves, said Naruto. His students nod and continues running. Sensei, how many are you running? Asked a curious Hanaka. 1,000 laps before doing 1,000 squats, chin-ups, sit-ups, push-ups, left kicks, right punches, left punches and jumping jacks before repeating twice. What? Shouted Riza. How many weights do you have? Asked Genya. I have gravity seals and chakra seals. My chakra seals, which act as weights, my ankle ones are at 50,000 pounds each and my wrist ones are at 25,000 pounds each. And my gravity weights are set at 200 times Earth's normal gravity, stated Naruto. All his students face fault, causing small crater. How can you carry so much weight? Asked Riza in disbelief. I've had weights on since I was 6 and I am half demon half vampire, so I can hold that much weight, replied Naruto as he speeds up his body to complete his runs. No more talking, just exercising. Oh, and when you get used to your weights, up them each by 5 pounds. And if none of you up your weights saying that they're still too heavy, I won't believe you and I'll up them myself. 5 hours later, inside the area, the 3 genin lay on the ground exhausted after training. Are we done yet? Asked Riza. It's been 5 hours. Well, to be honest, I placed a jutsu on the area to slow time down. An hour outside is equal to a month in here, so for the next 5 months 2 hours we'll be training, said Naruto, grinning sadistically. What are your weights each at? My ankle weights are at 50 pounds each and wrist ones 40 pounds each, that's 108 pounds, said Genya. 45 ankle and 40 wrist, 170 pounds, said Hanaka. 30 ankle and 20 wrist, that's 100, said Riza. Good, now I'm going to teach you all the shadow clone technique. The shadow clones are solid clones, but they disperse after one hit but can attack an opponent multiple times. Also, whatever a shadow clone learns once dispersed, that information goes back to you. Same for training one shadow clone, plus you half the time done, 3 clones 1/4 of the time done, said Naruto before he shows them the sign. Genya channels chakra and shouts the jutsu, forming 10 shadow clones, while Hanaka forms 6 and Riza 1. Okay, set your clones to chakra control. Riza, pop a soldier pill and form another before popping another, and do the exercise as well. Hi, said Riza as she pops a solider pill before creating 2 clones this time, and pops a second pill and starts walking up a tree balancing a kunai on her thumb, same as her clones. Hanaka and Genya's clones balance a kunai on one finger and stand still. Genya and Hanaka, I'll be teaching you a jutsu that Riza will also learn since all of you have an earth affinity. The jutsu is called Doden. Doryu Taiga, Earth Release. Mud Flow River, followed up by Doden. Doryuden, Earth Release. Earth Dragon Projectile. These two are used in combination if you are unable to access mud. The Mud Flow River will form a river of mud under your enemy even if it's a tree they stand on. You can then use the mud for the Earth Dragon Projectile to form a large dragon. Also, I'll then teach you the Kaiden. Karyuden, Fire Release. Fire Dragon Projectile. Which is used to light the bombs from the Earth Dragon Projectile alight. The Fire Dragon Projectile is ranked B, Mud Flow River C and Earth Dragon Projectile B, said Naruto before showing the hand signs. Doden. Doryu Taiga, suddenly the ground in front of them turns into a mud river that flows down to a tree. Doden. Doryuden, suddenly the mud shoots up and forms a giant dragon head next to Naruto that launches hundreds of mud balls. Kaiden. Karyuden, Naruto then breathes in before breathing out a large stream of flames that lights the mud balls alight, and they hit a group of trees before exploding. Wow, said the 2 genin. Naruto throws a box of soldier pills to them. Form 30 clones and has them split into 3 groups of 10 to start learning the techniques. I'll be giving you a scroll with 4 other techniques. Hanaka, you will learn the Kageten and Suiten Jutsu. Genya, you will learn the Fuuten and Raiden technique. Hi Naruto sensei. Naruto walks over to Riza, who runs stronger. Riza, leave your clones to it and come down here and eat a pill. Riza nods and jumps down before popping a pill. I am going to place a chakra storage seal on you and pump chakra into it, which will be 30 times that of yours. Enough to make at least 100 clones. I want you to form 30 clones and have them split into groups of 3, and I'll show each a jutsu. While you go over to the scroll that Hanaka and Genya are reading and learn the water technique, but I'll also give you a scroll with another Suiten technique. Hi sensei, said Riza, forming 30 clones using the storage seal and has them split into 3 groups. Naruto forms 3 clones and has them instruct the groups while tossing Riza a small scroll with a single technique. It's called the Hidden Mist. The jutsu on the scroll over there is Water Prison. Hi, this continues for the next 5 months, with the 3 learning different exercises. Riza's reserves equal to Genya's, which were around that of an Anbu. When they first started he had the biggest. Hanaka 5 times of her original, around that of a Sanin now, and Genya 3 times his when they started, around that of a Kage now. Now for exercise they do 300 laps, sit-ups, push-ups, left kicks, left punches, right punches, jumping jacks, chin-up and squats, and repeat twice. Riza's ankle weights were at 100 pounds each and wrist 60 pounds each, a grand total of 320. Hanaka's ankle weights were 150 each and wrists 100 for a total of 500 pounds. And Genya's were 250 on the ankles and his wrists for a total of 1,000 pounds. They also learnt the Strong Fox Taijutsu, a few B-ranked Genjutsu and A to D ninjutsu to increase their arsenal range. Hanaka preferred mid to long range while Riza preferred mid to close range and Genya long to close. Also learning the first 2 steps of the Rasengan involving popping a balloon full of water and popping a rubber ball. Naruto smiles as he releases the jutsu and the 3 step out of the training ground. Hanaka, you and Riza go out and buy new clothing: ninja attire, normal attire and formal attire. And Hanaka, buy yourself a Zanbatu and Riza a good pair of scimitars. Genya and I will go out together. The 3 nod before the team run off. Genya, we'll be buying you a pair of kodachi and an odachi. in case you are unable to use your chakra blades. Hi sensei. That's all for now. If you enjoy then please like, share and do comments.